always get me into these situations again, because I might be tempted. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with everything. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with everything but me. But me. This is it, I'm tired of explaining. It's too late because everyone is waiting. That's great, so why are you complaining? You're on blue. If I'm unsure, will anybody notice? It's my fault because I love you on purpose. I'm insecure, or just a little nervous. You're on blue. Who knows you're on blue? When every bruise looks good on you. Tell me who knows you're on blue. When every bruise looks good on you. You found out that nobody is perfect, and you doubt that anything is worth it. Look around, the world is a circus. You're on blue. So provoking, I forgot to mention. Are you joking? I need some attention. And nothing's working to change your direction. You're on blue. Who knows you're on blue? When every bruise looks good on you. Tell me who knows you're on blue? When every bruise looks good on you. Why won't you hold my hand? Are you gonna deny this? Do the best you can. I haven't got a plan, but I'm gonna survive this. That's just who I am. When you're on blue, you keep everything inside of you. You try to
fucking go, baby.
Sometimes you gotta break the rules.
Let's go.
I don't know why you are confused. All you need is a little bit of attitude. Yeah. This is it. I'm tired of explaining. It's too late because everyone is waiting. That's great. So why are you complaining? You're on blue. If I'm unsure, will anybody notice? It's my fault because I love you on purpose. I'm insecure or just a little nervous. You're on blue. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey. Sorry about the attitude. You knows you're on blue when every bruise looks good on you. Tell me who knows you're on blue when every bruise looks good on you. Let's go! I had nothing to say. Would you want to been what you could not change? In my everything. Spotify didn't exist when I made this music. There was no such thing as Spotify. Still the same. I will gladly take the blame. Behind a smile I can fade away. I can't remember myself. I can't remember myself. Nothing else is in the way. It's in the way. Tell me who could be. Was he looting me? I'm tripping. 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 I've been here a while, but I won't unpack. Dude, how we doing? Monday night. Oh shit. I'm crazy, but I see it in you. You and me. It's in the way. Tell me who could be. Was he looting me? Tell me who could be. Was he looting me? Let's go. Dude. All right. Dude, what a Monday, right? Is that a fucking crazy Monday or what? Dude, my fucking chair is falling apart, bro. Salute. Let's go. Dude, my chair is dying. I don't know why. I mean, this is like an actually a kind of expensive chair. But the armrests, like, I don't know, my body just eats armrests on chairs. It's really, truly a sight to behold. I don't know how I do it. I just literally, everything I touch, everything I use gets destroyed.
Destroyed? Oh, shit. All right. Dude, I have not seen the clip. I saw people talking about that Jeanine Pirro clip. Like, that's pretty crazy. This idea of how they want to try, like, teenagers as adults and shit. Like, dude, they're the bloodlust coming from Maga. As really, it's really crazy, dude. They are so thirsty. They are. They are thirsty for, like, harm. Like, they want to harm people. So we're gonna move through some shit, dude. I gotta have more concise, fucking slightly more concise streams in order to get all the content done. Want to start with that? I don't know. I'm gonna save that actually. I'm gonna fucking save that link because I think I want to start with the Epstein's butler, right? Let me see. Hold on, let me see what we got here. Dude, the Epstein's butler shit is pretty wild. Kyle Kowinski made a video about this. I imagine a lot of people are going to be talking about this article that was in the Telegraph. Now, it's hard. Everyone is coming out of the woodwork here, okay? As they should, right? I told you yesterday about how I felt like the victims we're going to find that it's critical mass, but it's hard because it's not just the victims. There's going to be defenders. There's going to be people that are stirring conspiratorial plots. Like everybody who's speaking up is getting featured in the press and on TV. So we're about to enter a realm where we're going to get hit over the head, just inundated with everybody's eyewitness accounts of Trump and Epstein and Ghislaine and what have you. And I mean, we're going to have to sort of like work real hard to filter through these, you know, takes to figure out what the actual truth is. Because I'm not under the impression that everybody who's coming forward is fully telling the truth. There's a lot of financial gain to be had to participate in this. However, I think if you look for the connections among people, you are going to find the truth. Because even with this Butler story, a lot of what he's saying is absolutely, you know, is true, right? Sure, some of it will be embellished by his memory. You know, same with Michael Wolff, same with, you know, with all the sort of like friendly accounts, the people that are covering, you know, for Trump, the people that are covering for Ghislaine. But I think we're about to have a massive amount of information that's going to bring a lot of new truths to light, okay? And yeah, the models coming forward, I mean, dude, and ultimately, though, it's all going to create a fever pitch for us to see those files. Now, again, I'm going to say this one more time. I'm going to say it every fucking day. Whatever is in those files is so grotesque, is so dangerous, is so outrageous, and so pinpointed towards Donald J. Trump, right? Towards Donald J. Trump, that I have never seen the GOP and Trumpism freak out more. There's never been a bigger freak out. I've never seen them freak out like this and avoid like this. And yeah, this is part of why the DC thing is happening. I mean, there's other theories about DC too. We're going to look at Cheyenne Hunt, who we did look at a video of hers a couple months ago where she was talking about Trump wanting to do the freedom cities and that maybe DC was going to be the first run. Also, I want to go out on the record about DC and say it's a black woman mayor. Same with LA. Karen Bass and the mayor of DC. Trump appears to be flexing his fascist muscles only in cities that have black woman mayors. Right? Coincidence? I don't know, man. It seems a lot like a Trumpy sort of move, right? it's the easiest place where he can get away with this shit. But again, there is something in these files that is like beyond dirty. But so I don't know. But what I do know is this. I know that here's what's on our agenda tonight. We are going to look at the Butler story in the Telegraph, Epstein's butler. Then we are going to jump over to the Trump DC. We're all going to have a good laugh at Jeanine Pirro's obsession with teenagers. Then we are going to take a look at Laura Loomer and MTG. They are in a MAGA, a MAGA spat. The worst people in the world are currently fighting with some more racy, hateful language that we get from these, religious right weirdos. Oh shit, bro. And then I also want to look at that Chelsea Hunt stuff too. Her theory, which I think is interesting, and anything else we discover along the way. The Discord is down in the description. If you have some clips that you want to look at in the Discord, do put them in there. All right. We, in the React on Stream section, and we can take a look at them. Yeah. And see what we got time for. All right. Dude, Loomer is crazy. Dude, she is crazy. Yeah. This stuff is crazy, dude. Now, I'm doing a lot of videos about the Epstein stuff because I want to keep shining a light on this. Okay. I want to keep exposing this in every possible way that we can, right? It's like daily news coverage, and we're not going to relent. Okay. We are going to make videos about this evolving story all the way through the entire term. I'm never going to stop. Okay. We are going to hammer away at this. Dude, let's go. I'm glad you've been getting something out of it. I've been trying to sort of cover all the bases because there's a lot to this, and there's a lot of victims. I'm doing more research too. I kind of want to go through and feature all of the victims and bring them all to light, to give them all a day. You know what I'm saying? Give them all a day in the sunshine, right? And at least put the energy out there for seeking some type of resolution. Whether we're going to get it, we can't control, but we can control, advocating for it. Dude, something's up with my fucking earpiece here. Give me one sec. Dude, this is the gnarliest shit, bro. In-ear monitors are the grossest things. MAGA will make me regret that decision. Dude, I'm not worried about MAGA. I will say this, though. You know what's crazy about this? Dude, what is wild and freakish about MAGA is their relationship with the Second Amendment, right? So I've been posting on Twitter today. Yeah, no, we're definitely going to look at Prince Andrew. I was posting on Twitter today about the tyranny, right? You know what I'm saying? About the for the victims. Got you, Gen X. Yes, you're right. They're all over the victims. So the thing about this, hold on. What is up? Hello, testing. Yeah, all right, there we go. Dude, yeah, they are great. But they're I don't know, I have trouble getting them in my ear, keeping them there. But anyway, so what I was going to say about this is we are definitely going to look at Prince Andrew. He's very tied to Ghislaine Maxwell. And obviously, you remember that picture? Remember this picture? This one. Let me just show you of Virginia Giuffre and Prince Andrew. This photo, right? Remember this? You know what I didn't realize? Jeffrey Epstein took this photo. Somebody had asked about this the other day. Epstein took this photo in Prince Andrew's house. This is Epstein, Andrew, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Virginia Giuffre. Now, there is no reason on planet Earth why a 17-year-old girl that they had picked up from the spa of Mar-a-Lago would be in Prince Andrew's house with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell if it was not for sex crimes. Right? Isn't that crazy? That is crazy. I mean, there's no way she gets there. There's no way. There's no way that this girl from the wrong side of the tracks would end up like with the prince, you know, with his arm wrapped around there in that familiar way, dude. There is no chance. It's fucking outrageous. But anyway, back to my point here. One of the things, okay, that is what was my fucking point? Dude, now I lost my point. All right, I lost my point. It'll come back. I can't remember what I was talking about, but I got sidetracked. But we're gonna get into this Telegraph article because this article is absolutely batshit. Okay, again, this is Telegraph UK. This is Epstein's butler. Okay, he was his butler for 18 years. He is now coming forward in the 2A people. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Amanda. Let me finish that thought. So the situation with the 2A picture, the 2A thing is during our talks about gun control, about banning assault weapons, etc., the 2A people, especially the MAGA people, have talked so much about how they need to stockpile these guns to prevent tyranny, to protect from the government. And yet, Donald Trump is repeatedly sending the National Guard into cities to commandeer the police forces. There's a masked, marauding force that's going around like taking people, snatching them off the streets, smashing out windows, grabbing them, citizens and immigrants alike. And dude, these 2A people are bootlickers. They're not doing anything, right? They're not stockpiling guns to prevent tyranny. They're stockpiling guns to like jerk it. Oh, give me some more guns. Oh, where'd my neck go? Right? You know what I mean? They're like, I am done. Okay, hearing about them like protecting themselves from tyranny. Done. I'm sorry, your tyranny card has been pulled. You guys are gutless turds. Okay, you are 2A MAGA people, dude. There's no. They don't care about tyranny, right? They don't care about tyranny at all. And I am also done with them having any claim on being the party of free speech. Okay, because the reality is they're trying to punish people for speech every single day. You know what I'm saying? Every single day. Need to be super nice to the National Guard and the Marines. Fuck them. No, any National Guard and Marines that are like obeying Trump, like fuck them. We're not going to be nice to them. We're going to build an international coalition. That's what we're going to do. Dude, the Marines cannot be deployed on our home turf. Okay? Fuck these guys. Dude, any Marines that aren't leaving the military while this shit is happening, they're not on our side. Okay? They are the enemy within. The enemy within. Let's go. All right, you ready? Holy shit, dude. I got these crams so far in my ear. I love it. Dude, I love it. They're like, I am like in another world right now. My ears are just stuffed with fucking in-ear monitors. I have them really pressed in there, guys. This is the new way I'm going to go, actually. I think I'm going to go like this from now on. It's kind of my new thing, dude. My new ear stuffing. All right, you ready? Let's look at this article. Now, the first thing about this article that is hilarious is look at this image, guys. Okay? Look at this picture. Look at what Epstein is wearing, guys. Like, I looked at this and I'm like, bro, this can't be real. There's no way that this can be real. It's an IDF fucking sweatshirt, bro. This is like, I believe this photo was taken when, so you know how Epstein got arrested. He was in Paris, okay? He flew back to America and he landed at Teterboro Airport, okay? Teterboro Airport in New Jersey. And he got arrested as he got off his plane on the tarmac. If this photo was taken between Paris and Teterboro, he was arrested in an IDF sweatshirt. Like, come on, bro. What is going on, dude? In the Telegraph, they say that this photo is real, that they actually were given this photo, but he's wearing a fucking IDF sweatshirt. Now, right? I mean, really? Now, did he wear this purposely? Right? Did he wear this knowing he was, you know what I mean? Did he wear this knowing it was going to stir the pot? Like, why was he wearing this? I mean, nobody ever asked him. We're not seeing this photo until after his death. But this is pretty wild, right? It's certainly not going to make the conspiracy theories any less prevalent. But dude, isn't that wild? And I mean, he kind of looks like shit, but I think this was on the flight back from Paris. I think this is what he was wearing. I think this is what he was wearing when he got arrested at Teterboro. Dude, I swear to you, this is insane, bro. Absolutely batshit. And it says right there, it says, 𝗙់𝗙𝗪𝗀, that's the butler, okay? Right? And it says that he's with him. Oh, no. Never mind, guys. I stand corrected, okay? It says here under the headline, 2019, okay? So this photo, oh, wait, no, that's it. That's when he flew back, yes. Oh, shit. So, yeah, dude, this is the last photo taken. He was fucking wearing this when he landed, when he got arrested in July. I believe it was June or July 2019. Holy shit, dude. That is insane, bro. That is like, it's too nuts, dude. Too nuts. Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein loved life too much to kill himself and was confident of securing bail before he died. His butler for 18 years has told the Telegraph. In an interview that will heap renewed pressure on the Trump admin to make the files public, one of his closest aides said he had spoken to the pedophile financier before he died and insisted he had been in good spirits. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude. I mean, it's hard. Something's definitely going on. All right. So 𝗙់𝗙𝗪𝗀, who ran Epstein's Paris home, told the Telegraph he could not accept the official verdict of suicide and feared that his own life was in danger. So the butler who took care of Epstein's Paris house does not believe it was a suicide, and he feels like his own life is at risk. He also said he believed that Virginia Giuffre, the one who accused Prince Andrew of rape and died by suicide, he believes she was foul play as well. Now, I myself have some wondering about Virginia Giuffre. And I mean, it's not just her, guys. It's Ivana, it's Epstein, it's Jean-Luc Brunel, it's Virginia Giuffre. There's another Russian model that had levied some claims against Trump that died mysteriously. I mean, there's the Roy Black, the lawyer. You know what I mean? There are just a lot of deaths that have happened around this case. And like I said, when I assemble them all, we're going to take a look at the entire outlay of the people close to this case who have committed suicide or died mysteriously. And it is wilder than you know. Okay? Mr. Kozrin also made the extraordinary claim to the Telegraph that Epstein told him he had been offered a job by Donald Trump in the 2016 admin, but he had turned it down. Now, this is a little bit of a bombshell for the butler to be saying that Trump offered Epstein a job. Now, I know that sounds like not believable, but there have been accounts of Epstein during Trump's first term where Epstein had divulged a lot of the inner workings of the Trump admin. It was pretty obvious that Epstein and Trump were still talking to each other about like the daily behind the scenes shit, because Epstein had knowledge of shit that was beyond what was being released in the papers. So I think it's believable that Trump offered him some type of position. I think it's entirely believable. I mean, he put the guy who let him off into the cabinet. So there's no reason he couldn't have offered Epstein some type of ambassadorship, maybe, you know, related to the Virgin Islands or something. You know what I mean? And maybe that was an attempt to like bring him under control. Okay. I mean, Trump had no idea that the Miami Herald reporters were going to go and rehash this story. Nobody did, right? When they came out with their book and those bombshell exposés. I mean, if it hadn't been for those Miami Herald reporters, we wouldn't even be here. So talk about like the wonders of the free press. Okay. There's no evidence that allegation is true, and Trump has maintained he stopped speaking to Epstein in 2004 after they fell out over a business deal. But we also watched Trump change his story on that to about Virginia Giuffre. All right, but Mr. Kozrin's recollection of a conversation with his boss will fuel a growing demand for the Epstein files. Of course, we want these. Everybody wants these. And guys, when you look at this shit, look at this. Here's the poll. Dude, this is one of the, right? Here's the poll. This Epstein situation is one of the few ways that all of America is united. Okay? Everybody wants these files. Okay? Now, I don't know how many of these people would like turn tail on Maga and the Republican Party. Probably zero. I feel like the independents could be moved by this, but everybody wants to know. Okay. And the victims are really getting hungry. Okay. In his exclusive interview with the Telegraph, Mr. Kozrin, speaking on the record for the first time, also alleged that Prince Andrew visited Epstein in St. Tropez, along with a British photographer famous for taking pictures of naked girls and accused of having sex with a 13-year-old. So there we go. He's alleging that Prince Andrew had another connection, okay, with Epstein and other girl abusers. Okay, Prince Andrew was a frequent guest at Epstein's Paris townhouse with royal protection bodyguards paid for by the British taxpayer. Dude, wait till you see Epstein's Paris digs. Dude, his Paris apartment was sick, bro. I mean, this guy's a disgusting piece of shit, and we're glad that he's dead, and we should burn all the people that were involved with him. But the motherfucker had some taste in apartments. I gotta hand it to him, because when you see the pictures of his Paris apartment, dude, it is badass. Okay? Or his designer, whoever like interior designed his places, like this guy in Paris, this shit was gnarly. Okay, and here's another one, dude. Ghislaine Maxwell was the authoritarian boss who gave the orders in the Epstein household. And this is a big one, guys. Again, you know, if you watched today's video on the channel, you saw it was about that Princess Diana. And we are now realizing that Ghislaine Maxwell was the linchpin. She was the connection to royalty, to Prince Andrew, to all of the levers of power. Okay, and more we're hearing that she was kind of the boss. And Epstein was just jerking off a lot. Okay, he was just a sex addict that was getting fed a constant stream of teen girls. But I think Ghislaine Maxwell was the actual ringleader. And I think Donald Trump and Jean-Luc Brunel and these modeling agency guys had a lot more to do with it than we know at this point. Okay? And Epstein gave money to Woody Allen to finance one of his movies, which is like, that's a little on the nose too. Because Woody is a degenerate fucking, child rapist. Okay, Woody Allen, he is, dude. It's too bad too because he makes some really good movies. But what a fucking piece of shit. But yeah, I mean, I've thought about it. I've thought about the possibility that Epstein is alive, but I don't know about that. I feel like it'd be safer for him being dead. You know what I mean? I don't think they'd have a reason to keep him alive. I think him being dead is actually makes a lot more sense. All right, Mr. 𝗙់_𝗏 remains in possession of a number of photographs taken with friends of Epstein, including a photo of himself with Bill Clinton on the Lolita Express. Okay, Epstein's private plane that he used to traffic. So there's the butler, way younger with Clinton, dude. Dude, there's no way, bro. Oh, Jesus. The existence of the photo showing Clinton on board Epstein's jet will also fuel demands for Clinton. And again, dude, I have no problem with Clinton going down, bro. All right, if Clinton's guilty of something, dude, off with his nuts, bro. I have no problem. We can put him away. There's no problem with that at all. Clinton was issued a subpoena demanding he give evidence to a congressional committee. Now, they're going to try and, I believe they're going to issue subpoenas to Bill and Hillary Clinton because they're going to try and make this like a monkey trial. Okay, Comer is. They are. The Oversight Committee, they're going to try to sort of make this a Democratic thing while they insist that everything about Trump is not credible. But I think, dude, Trump is going to get caught in the crossfire. Okay, Mr. 𝗙់_𝗏 also shared a photograph of him with Epstein taken on the private jet, which may be one of the last taken, which is this one with the IDF sweatshirt. Okay, Epstein looks puffy, but is smiling and relaxed and is notably wearing an IDF sweatshirt. Okay, he's long been accused of being an operative for Mossad, and although last month his former lawyer said Epstein used to laugh off the claim. So we don't know. We don't know. Again, I feel like if there's truth to that, it'll come out too. Or it could very well be just him knowing that he was going to get arrested and knowing that, maybe if some photos leak of him getting arrested in this sweatshirt, it's going to be something he can, stir to his benefit. Okay. Now, Epstein, who was 66, was charged with sex trafficking underage girls and remained in custody. Of course, he was found hanged in his cell. It was August 10th. Okay, but Mr. 𝗙்_𝗏 is insistent that Epstein would have never killed himself. Okay, Epstein had told him he was planning to negotiate with the judge in a case to secure bail, having been held in custody as a possible flight risk. But see, now this is a little bit inconsistent because Epstein had been denied bail and there was no way Epstein was getting bail in this case. I mean, he's absolutely a flight risk. He absolutely, there was no way in hell that Epstein was going to get bail. Not a chance. Not a chance. There's just no way. Okay. He said he recalled seeing Epstein for the last time. He said Epstein was relaxed, had been talking about making more investments in the islands. He had bought a second island. By the way, Epstein had bought a second island that was just a little bit from Little St. James. But we also know that in more than likely Epstein bought that second island because it was the escape valve. Okay. When some young women did try to swim off of Little St. James. And so Epstein bought the nearest island, right? So he bought the island that was the only thing they could swim to if they tried to escape. I mean, dude, this is some grungy shit, dude. This is grungy shit. Okay. He says when he got home, two women rang, his main girlfriend, who is Karina 𝗙់_𝗏, and another who worked for him. And they said Epstein had gone to prison. He arrived in New York and the police were waiting for him. Okay. And Mr. 𝗙់_𝗏's partner, Maria Gomes de Mello, who also knew Epstein, said Epstein had said goodbye to her and said, I'll be back next week. And she was like, sir, don't know, or don't go. So we don't know. I mean, obviously, if Epstein was getting arrested, he's not going to tell his butler and shit, all that. I don't think he's going to confide in them. But she also, though, did question whether he had killed himself. Okay. And they were really surprised about that. He loved life too much to float away, they said. Now, I've definitely been reading some reports that Epstein was he was really bummed out being in jail. I mean, he really was. He was really, really bummed out about being in jail because the food sucked, right? He had trouble sleeping. It was noisy. None of his creature comforts were there. His whole world revolved around his position in celebrity, and nobody in jail was really impressed with his fucking stories about famous people. Nobody cared. Okay. So there's he definitely was grappling with depression. He was not in there in good spirits in prison. Now, he certainly had to be fearing for his own life too. Now, so who inherited his money, there's a trust in the Virgin Islands, and we talked about that yesterday a little bit. You can go look at the stream from yesterday. There is quite a bit of suspicion because some of the trust was set up to pay out victims who sign a release saying they won't sue or file charges against anybody involved with the case, and they agree to be silent. So there's a payoff thing, but also there's a trust that is shadowed. Nobody knows the people that are on it that control some of this money and control some of these assets. It's $675 million. I mean, dude, it's crazy. They're trying to detangle it. It's in the Virgin Islands, and a lot of this stuff is hidden in layers, All right. So we've seen the footage, but here's what's interesting though is Mr. Kozhran remains fiercely loyal to Epstein and insists he never saw his boss cavorting, let alone having sex with underage girls, which we know that Epstein was deeply involved in this. So obviously this guy saying, hey man, he never did this. That's a fucking stretch, I mean, we know he's lying, or maybe Epstein kept it from him. I don't know. But he said young women were hired to give Epstein massages and to cut his nails. The girls did that to him, but it stopped there. So this guy, homie, is definitely living in denial, right? Okay. Now look at the Paris apartment though, dude. Look at that thing. Dude. Look at that pad, bro. Oh my God. Dude, this is I love this. I love this apartment, dude. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, Husk. I mean, you're right. Girls massaging him. There's no reason you'd be getting a massage from a fucking teenage girl, dude. Unless you're a teenage boy. There's no way you're getting a massage from a teenage girl. You know what I mean? There's no way. Okay. Now, obviously, to me, there is some believability with Epstein that if he was going to be, there is some believability to me, right? That if he was going to be doomed to a life of imprisonment, that, he would feel suicidal. Okay. It's believable to me because this guy was not going to do well, being locked up in jail with no celebrity, no money, nobody to impress, no constant stream of young girls. In all likelihood, he would get banged out by some big hairy ass dude on fucking D Block. You know what I mean? And not only that, guys, we must remind everybody that dudes like Epstein who take advantage of children, they don't do well in prison, guys. Okay. There is a code, my dad was in prison, and there is a code in prison that is the people who fuck around and fuck with kids, they don't do well, guys. They take a fucking beating. Okay. There is a code. Epstein was not a guy who is going to stand up to that code. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, no, dude, this fucking apartment is pretty badass, bro. Dude, why do they look soundproofed? Oh shit, bro. Dude, it's like a giant headboard, bro. I love it. All right. I'm crazy like that though. No, I would only have legal and above board sex in an apartment like this. I promise you. Right? That's what it should have been used for. This bastard, he wasted a fucking perfectly good house. All right. So 𝗙𝗃 worked for Epstein for 18 years, and he managed an 8-bedroom apartment overlooking the Arc de Triomphe. So, dude, he had an 8-bedroom apartment in Paris. The soundproofing, this isn't actually soundproofing. And in fact, guys, this is in all likelihood, this is leather. And so it's probably anything but soundproofing. This is more like a weird sort of like aristocratic textured sort of vibe. You know what I mean? But I'm certain there's no soundproofing in a room with like a 16-foot ceiling, dude. And leather, like, yeah, dude, that's anything but soundproof. But anyway, 𝗙𝗃 also worked dozens of times at Epstein's properties in New York, Palm Beach, and on Little St. James. Okay. And 𝗙𝗃 said he trusted him completely. He said, I was his chauffeur, his cook, his housekeeper. I did everything in Paris. I was his only full-time paid up employee and worked for him from 2001 until his death. Okay. So this guy was his like main dude. Okay, dude. Yeah, dude. JD Vance would be climbing the walls. Holy shit. Okay, so his interview with the Telegraph took place in his French home over a beer and Brazilian bread and cheese balls, which he said were a hit with Bill Gates. Upstairs, a large photo of Mr. 𝗙𝗃 and Epstein taken on the Lolita Express hung on the wall, along with another with the butler and Mr. Clinton. Here's another one with Peter Mandelson and Epstein and this giant fucking birthday cake with a bunch of candles. Here's the butler guy. Okay, he reeled off a list of dignitaries who came to visit Epstein over 2 decades, including Prince Andrew, who he cooked for and chauffeured for, Mr. Clinton, which he met once on the jet, Lord Mandelson, now the UK's ambassador to DC, Woody Allen, and look at this, Israeli ex-Prime Minister Ehud Barak, along with other Middle Eastern dignitaries. So there's a Middle Eastern connection in here as well. Okay. And 𝗙𝗃 refused countless requests for interviews since Epstein was found hanged, but he told the Telegraph he was breaking his silence to tell his truth. All right. So now he's coming forward. Right. So let's see. And he's trying to say that Epstein is not the man they say he was. Now, I'm not buying any of that. For a minute. Okay. This is the guy today. There's the food he prepared, whatever. All right. You got a kitchen there. You're hanging out, whatevs. But one reason the couple had declined to talk publicly was concern for their own safety. They pointed to what they consider Epstein's mysterious death and also the suicides of Miss 𝗪𝗓, who had accused Prince Andrew of rape, and Jean-Luc Brunel, who ran a modeling agency that was Karin Models, and later the agency funded by Epstein, MC2, out of Florida, New York. Jean-Luc Brunel also died of suicide in Paris in a jail. Okay. And so 𝗪𝗓 died this year in Australia in April. Brunel was found dead in Paris in 2022. He was awaiting teenage rape charges. Okay. And he's said he's scared for his life after what happened to them. And dude, I think that's like totally realistic. You know what I'm saying? Totally realistic. All right. So Mr. 𝗙𝗃 never met Trump, though. Trump and Epstein had fallen out over the sale of a property in 2004, or as Trump is now saying, because of, it fell apart because of him pilfering Virginia 𝗪𝗓 from Mar-a-Lago, right? Him taking his workers and putting them in the sex trade, which, dude, the story changes every day. But the claim, if true, here we go. He says Mr. 𝗙𝗃 did say Epstein boasted of being offered a job by Trump. The claim, if true, would be dynamite although there's no evidence to back it up. But again, Epstein did have a lot of knowledge about the inner workings of the Trump admin behind the scenes in that first administration. Okay. And sources inside Mr. Trump's first admin told the Telegraph that Mr. Kozhrin's recollection appeared fanciful. So sources inside the first admin denied this. Okay. And he said, I can tell you one thing. A few days after Trump's 2016 election, Mr. Epstein arrived in Paris on Monday or Tuesday. I went to pick him up at the airport. He said, Wadź, you saw that Trump is the new U.S. president? Yes, I replied. I saw it on the news in Paris. Well, Trump asked me to work for him in the new government. I said, congratulations, I'm happy for you. He said, no, I didn't accept. Mr. Kozhrin insisted Epstein was not in the habit of trumpeting false claims in such a confidential setting. He said his boss made no mention of what the position might be. I was surprised because I would have thought such a position could be interesting, but I asked no more questions as it wasn't my place. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Absolutely. So she was in intense pain after a car accident. Yeah. No, I get that. I'm aware of that. I mean, it's possible that it was a suicide. It's possible that it wasn't. You know what I mean? I mean, we don't know. We'll see. I mean, obviously, it very well could be. I mean, all of this could be. Epstein could have taken his own life too because he doesn't want to spend his life in jail. So could Jean-Luc Brunel. I mean, these guys who are like sex addicts with teenage girls, they're not going to do well in prison. So, I mean, with them, without having their candy, it's possible that they don't see a reason to be alive, but a lot of this shit is just sort of like happening in succession, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, there's Epstein and Trump at Mar-a-Lago and Ghislaine Maxwell back here. That's the video we've all seen. Epstein would visit his Paris home for a week, roughly every 2 months. But periodically, Kozhrin was flown abroad to cook for famous friends. Could be dinner with Ehud Barak, Bill Gates, right? Epstein did hire top chefs and then mix this guy in with it as butler. But Kozhrin said he's seen nothing inappropriate with any of these people. All right. But Mr. Trump's MAGA movement has long contended that deep state elites continue to protect Epstein's most powerful associates in the Democratic Party in Hollywood. But again, now the Democratic Party is fully advocating for this. Okay. Fully advocating for this shit to come out. And they're going to keep pushing for it. Okay. Okay. So this just talks about the documents being fucking shut down. So it says Mr. Kozhrin continued to work for Epstein even after the first conviction. Okay. So that was the one where Barry Krischer and Alex Acosta teamed up to give him an immunity with Leslie Groff, Adriana Ross, Nadia Marcinkova, and Sarah Kellen, his chief female lieutenants. Okay. And I remember the first time he went to prison, it was in Florida. I accompanied him to Palm Beach Airport. The boss called me and said, I'm going to jail, to prison. I said, why? And he said, because of the ladies. Okay, Mr. Kozhrin had no recollection of Epstein ever meeting Trump, either in Paris or in Florida, but he did recall Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, she used to pop over there very often in her Mercedes shortly after I was taken on in the early 2000s. He said he had no idea who she visited. Okay, there she is on the plane with Epstein. This is also Jean-Luc Brunel was on this flight. There is definitely a photo of Ghislaine and Epstein and Jean-Luc Brunel on this same flight. Okay, she was obviously put in jail. And Mr. Kozhrin says if anyone knows anything, it's Maxwell. She was the boss and the lady of the house. She was harder and more authoritarian because she was more bourgeois. She didn't give massages, but she was in charge. For a long time, she ran everything in the house. Said it in every home, there were notepads to jot down messages. He had a photograph of two. one with Epstein's name on it, and the other headed 𝗙𝗙𝗃𝗍𝗍. Now, 𝗙𝗙𝗃𝗍𝗍, mind you, guys, this right here, this is the name of her dad's yacht. Okay, Robert Maxwell, his yacht, his massive yacht, the one he died supposedly falling off of while peeing, was named 𝗙𝗙𝗃𝗍𝗍. Okay, so this is, I presume this stationery is from her dad's yacht. Okay, dude, yeah, you're losing your neck like Cenk. Yeah. Oh, what do we do, Epi? Right? All right. So he remembered, let's see, he remembered being hired by Epstein in 2001, but said Maxwell had been instrumental in sorting out the details, suggesting she controlled the day-to-day running his homes. Okay. The first time I met him, he came out of his jet with a beautiful woman aged 25 to 30. He was in a tatty sweatsuit. He often looked like a tramp in cheap clothes. And he said, how old are you? 40. How long have you been working? I said, 20 years. He said, you got the job. Okay. Here's David Hamilton. This is another one. Okay. Look at this. This is another guy. Okay. At a property in 𝗙់𝗍𝗏, died by suicide in 2016 following allegations he had abused underage models. All of these guys that were running in this Epstein, Trump, Virgin Islands, modeling like teen abuse circle, they're all dying by suicide, guys. That's a little weird, okay? That is a little weird, guys. All of them, right? Just one by one, right? Okay. Let's see. Asked whether he saw Maxwell bring back girls for Epstein. He said, I never saw Madame leave the house, go anywhere, and come back with a new girl. Never. It was more people who came to see her. Now, again, she didn't carry, like Ghislaine didn't walk these girls into the house. She arranged this shit. Okay. And, but to say, oh, yes, Miss Maxwell was here. She went to Trocadero and came back with 2 women. I didn't know that's not true. Never, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Maxwell introduced Epstein to Prince Andrew, and Mr. Kozhran recalled first serving the Duke of York along with the late disgraced British photographer David Hamilton at a property in 𝗙்𝗍𝗏. Now, this is the person they talked about in the beginning of this, right? Which is this guy right here, where it said that Epstein and Prince Andrew went to 𝗙்𝗍𝗏 with the British photographer who had been busted for sexing up young girls. That's this guy. Also a suicide, okay? The presence of Hamilton is ironic, given that he died by suicide in 2016 following allegations he had abused underage models that he was photographing. They came after decades in which he was feted for his semi-erotic, soft-focus shots of mostly nude girls in their early teens, which he said depicted a lost paradise, man. These guys were so creepy, okay? He says there were no big parties. Monsieur was not a socialite. All right. So he's sitting here trumpeting, basically continuing to defend Epstein, yada, yada, yada. Okay. And he did cook for the prince, which we were talking about, Prince Andrew. He did meet Clinton once on the plane, but never like cooked for him and never saw him at the island or anything like that. And it was Clinton. It was when Clinton was traveling with Kevin Spacey, Maxwell, and Epstein himself. And also present was a 21-year-old masseuse, Shantae Davies, who later testified that she was raped and abused by Epstein. Okay. And Davies is really is this person. It's actually Tiala Davies, okay, who he's talking about. And here's a picture of Epstein and her together. So Shantae, but her name is Tiala Davies, and she was another teenager that was involved with Epstein that had been, connected to him for years. This is her like flying his helicopter with him. She was very much on the island. She did come forward with Gloria Allred and came forward as part of the suit. So that's who he's talking about, 𝗙𝗪𝗪🗡. All right. So she was, I guess, on the plane when 𝗙ecie, Maxwell, and Clinton were there, right? Yeah, there's deep connections. Here is Ghislaine Maxwell and Kevin Spacey, okay, at fucking Buckingham Palace, right? We know Kevin Spacey is obviously a creeper. Here's Ghislaine Maxwell and Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton at Buckingham Palace. I mean, dude, these guys are all deeply connected. Yes, those are real thrones. I mean, these guys were all part of the con. And of course, right, he says, Epstein laughs in front of the painting he bought of Mr. Clinton in red high heels and a blue dress. Okay, so this was supposedly the dress that Monica Lewinsky was wearing. And the heels sort of also looking very Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, this Bill Clinton painting. This is a weird fucking painting, right? Tara Palmieri believes it's suicide. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's possible. But I think what's weird about this, though, is not that one of the victims, like Virginia Giuffre, would commit suicide. What's weird is you have the most outspoken victim committing suicide, along with the biggest, like, modeling agency owner committing suicide, along with the photographer connected to Prince Andrew and Epstein committed suicide, along with Epstein committing suicide, along with yet another Russian model, which we'll talk about another time, committing suicide. I mean, you have the perps, the ringleaders, the models. You just have a lot of suicides. And then there's Ivana, like, maybe getting pushed down the stairs. There's a lot of unexplained death, all surrounding one key instance. Now, we could go back and look at that guy in UK. Remember the dude on TV who was found to be a crazy pedo? The British guy. What's his name? Somebody's got to know that guy. The guy with the crazy look, right? What was that guy in England who molested like a whole bunch of people, right? You guys remember, chat? You know what I'm talking about? He was some dude who was like a really big British TV personality. And then, yeah, Savile, right? So Jimmy Savile, right? So you had Jimmy Savile, right, being this crazy pedo, right? But you didn't start seeing all his victims committing suicide. You didn't see everybody that knew Jimmy dying some crazy death, right? You know what I'm saying? So that is where right? There have been other things like this where there have been these crazy things where people don't just drop like flies, you know? And so that's the thing, you know, the same with like those priests that were found to molest a whole bunch of boys. You don't start seeing all their victims dying, you know what I mean? And everybody in the church just falling out of windows and shit. I mean, there's something really weird, but this painting, dude, is creepy. Okay. And let's see what we got. Here is Epstein with Woody Allen. Oh, fuck, bro. Look at those two fucking creeps. Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Kaloa, exactly. You're talking about Larry fucking Summers, isn't it? The gymnastic coach? What was his name? Larry Nassar. Yeah, you're talking about Larry Nassar. Okay? Right? Right? Larry Nassar, the same thing. Yeah, dude, Woody Allen's a creeper. Okay, so Cochran said the Paris home, which has been sold, blah, blah, blah. They talk about the home. And a lot of this is Cochran just refusing to believe that Epstein hooked up with teen girls, which we know he did. Like, this is the part that's kind of like bullshit. All right? Yeah, he goes on to say, I can tell you that at 80% of the cases, nothing happened with women, right? Sure, okay? Right? He rarely did anything with these young women. All they did was say, I'll rub your back, I'll cut your nails. The girls did that to him, but it stopped there. Not true. Sorry, Cochran. You are fucking cut off, bro. All right? That we're not going to allow. Okay? And then there is Epstein and his plane, the Lolita Express. All right, so police search of the Paris home by the French police yielded nothing. Some nude photos on the wall, along with photos on the mantelpiece of Epstein and a bunch of famous people, right? Fidel Castro, Pope Jean Paul II, Trump, Clinton, Allen, the Sultan of Dubai, a wealthy Saudi person, right? The police came in with machines. They were scanning the walls and floors, looking for hidden cameras. They were there for, looks like 14 hours. They found nothing. Now, it is also possible, guys, that, right, it is also possible that the Paris place was like his getaway, right? It may very well have been his sort of safe house, you know? I mean, so to me, it's believable that there was nothing in that house, that maybe Epstein went to Paris as a fucking, right, as a escape. Because, I mean, you know, the guy said he only went there for like a weekend or whatever, a few days every 2 months. I know that for me, I used to be in the chaos of my rock and roll days. I used to have a girlfriend or two that were like, lived like 40 miles out of LA. And they were like, you know, I don't know, the occasional girlfriends. I had several crash pads. So when I wanted to get away from my everyday life, if shit was too chaotic, I'd take a couple days off work and I would just literally go, I would leave LA and I would go to a place where I was just disconnected. So it's possible that the Paris house was just an escape hatch for him, that Epstein went there when he wanted to just sort of like tap out, you know? He said the house contained numerous pictures of Miss Giuffre and Prince Andrew. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, and again, this picture taken in 2001 was taken in, it says in Maxwell's London home. No, this is, I believe this is in his house, in Prince Andrew's house, dude, is what my understanding. Oh, no. All right, never mind. So it was taken inside. So it's said to be inside the home of Ghislaine Maxwell. So I guess it is inside Ghislaine's house. It was inside her house. Okay, I had it wrong. I thought it was Prince Andrew's. It is Ghislaine Maxwell's house. Okay, Prince Andrew, Ghislaine, and Virginia Giuffre. Yeah, look at those drapes. Yeah, this is, I mean, definitely not the house of royalty, right? That makes more sense. Okay. He said there were lots of photos of Virginia in Paris, though. That's really interesting, right? And the French police took all the photos of Virginia Giuffre. Now, I don't believe we've ever seen those, right? Yeah, no, the photo is real. We know the photo is real. That photo has been verified, certified real. What was cast, the aspersions that were cast was when Prince Andrew tried to say he felt it was doctored and trying to say he doesn't remember being there, but I thought it had been taken at his house, but no, it was her flat. But yeah, dude. So the crazy thing is there were a whole bunch of pictures of Virginia Giuffre here in this French apartment, and we've never seen them. I'm assuming Pam Bondi has them. If she got them from the French police, I mean, it's possible that they're still in France. We don't even know if they're in there. Right? You know what I'm saying? Dude, it's weird because I am just noticing with this picture where doesn't it look weird here? Like I hadn't really like stared at this picture, but doesn't it look like, I mean, I guess he could have taken the picture while she was moving her hand, right? But there's definitely a weird gap, something going on there. You can see between it, right? So, I mean, he looks like he was moving his hand as well, right? Like maybe they were in the middle of posing. And Prince Andrew, of course, has denied wrongdoing. And there you go. All right. And dude, crazy. Yeah, I mean, dude, this photo is just so creepy, right? Because again, guys, the thing that is really creepy about this picture is simply this. The fact that there is no reason, okay? There is no reason under the sun why a girl who, Ghislaine Maxwell met this girl as a spa attendant at Mar-a-Lago. Okay? So there is no reason a 16-year-old spa attendant from Mar-a-Lago that gets like, you know, a job from Ghislaine Maxwell would be in Ghislaine Maxwell's flat in London with Prince Andrew dressed like this, hanging out in such an overtly familiar sort of like college frat party kind of way. It's just unheard of. You know what I mean? This guy would never be fraternizing with a 16, 17-year-old spa attendant from, you know, West Palm Beach, Florida. A poor girl, right? There's just no way, dude. That's not how high society works, guys. Okay? That is not how high society works. Epstein distraction for government takeover. No, it's the other way around, guys. It's government takeover distraction from Epstein. Okay? 100%. Yeah, not under normal circumstances. There is no normal circumstance where a 16-year-old spa attendant from Mar-a-Lago from a poor side of West Palm Beach, Florida would end up hobnobbing with Prince Andrew. Not a chance. In 2001, yeah, it's 1 year after meeting her. Dude, there's no way, dude. Not unless Virginia Giuffre was like her fucking personal assistant. And if you were hiring a personal assistant, it wouldn't be a 16-year-old towel girl from Mar-a-Lago. Not a fucking chance, bro. That would be like if Ghislaine Maxwell hired an assistant, it would be a high society person for starters, okay? Because in order to exist in Ghislaine Maxwell's world, you had to be very familiar with high society, okay? Like I said, you ready? So I'm reading this book, okay? This is a book by Sarah Ransom, and she is one of the Epstein victims who became very vocal, okay? Now, what's funny about that book, guys, is Sarah Ransom tells a story about when her mom and dad divorced. She was born into a family of royalty as well. Sarah Ransom, like a guy who was in Parliament and shit, and somebody who was like a duke, her grandfather was. And what happened was her mom got divorced and she married a guy who was like outside of royalty. And when they took him to dinner, he didn't know how to cut the cheese right. And her grandfather, who was a stuffy, like royalty guy, just berated him publicly in front of everybody and shamed him and just excoriated the man for not being able to cut the cheese right. There is like a fucking super systematic etiquette that is involved with high society people that there's no fucking way a Palm Beach yokel would be a high-ranking like employee of a socialite that existed in that high society. Like, there's no way she would hire somebody who was very well versed in all of that high society etiquette. It is like so important. That shit will get you like excommunicated. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. I mean, it sounds trivial, but you don't understand how like the rules that govern the behavior in that world, there's just no chance, you know? All right. So that's Epstein. All right. Yeah, no, I know. She doesn't even know what fork to use. Dude, she's a one fork. She's a one fork girl. She's like me, bro. I'm a one fork guy. Dude, old money? Yeah, dude, old money. Dude, old money's crazy. Dude, I dated a girl from Finland who was like, she was like the newest of the old money style family. Dude, and her mom, when she met me, was like, what are you doing, bro? I thought her mom was going to have me killed. Dude, her mom was not a fan, dude. Like, oh my God, dude. She like, I thought she was going to have me offed. Dude, she was not. They're not shy about their distaste for people from the wrong side of the tracks. You know? Dude, shit was funny, dude. Yeah, I did not go over well, needless to say, dude. Dude, it is weird, dude. I think that shit is bullshit. I do. But all right, so that's our Epstein. Dude, we're going to do a video on 𝗙𝗹𝗪, dude. Her story is crazy, guys. Okay? We're going to cover Sarah Ransom. We're going to cover 𝗙𝗪𝗪. We're going to go back over Virginia Giuffre's. We are going to look at it all. Okay? You know what I mean? Kyle Kowinski does a video about this. If you want to check it out, it's worth a watch. Kyle's very entertaining. Dude, it's funny. Watching him talk about the IDF sweatshirt is pretty funny. Okay, so now the big news of the day is this. All right? Let me go to the bathroom. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about fucking Trump and Washington, D.C., his distraction of the day, right? This shit is nuts. Go to the party just to fuck shit up. Let's go, dude. Must be fun to horrify parents. I mean, it is and it isn't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I didn't try to horrify parents. It's a lot easier to have a relationship when your girlfriend's parents don't hate you, right? Because what invariably happens when their parents do hate you is then your relationship becomes based around that hatred, and it's pretty toxic. I've had a lot of relationships where the parents have hated me, guys. I have, dude. It's hard. I'm currently in a relationship where the parents don't like me. Jenny's parents, they don't openly hate me. Okay? They don't. They're civil to me, but they don't like me. They think I'm like not the girl they want their daughter with. Right? And it's probably got intensified because I sort of went off on Jenny's dad. The last time he was here, he made a comment. He made like a snide comment, sort of comparing me to Donald Trump. No, they're not MAGA. They're just like from a wealthier, highly educated set of people. And like, you know, her grandfather worked for Lyndon Johnson. So they're sort of wealthy, sort of government people. And like when I said that, you know, I'm thinking about running for Congress, her dad he gets very offended by me thinking I could get into Congress, which I do believe I could get into Congress. But, you know, it goes deep though, because what's hard about her dad is Jenny has a like an adopted sister who is like a great girl, but she's like wild. She's not a student. She's not gonna go get a college degree. But her dad, Jenny's dad, is trying to force this girl to get a college degree, and he keeps insisting that she's gonna become a scientist. But like, dude, this girl could be a tattoo artist. She could be a TikToker. There could be a great many things she would be amazing at, but she's never gonna be a scientist. She's just not a scientist. And so I got sick of him talking about her. And I was like, God damn it, dude. You're setting up that girl to fail. Like, you need to wake the fuck up. Okay, you are expecting her to be like you, and you're denying the reality of who she is. Like, you need to wake the fuck up. You're ruining her fucking life, dude. You need to back the fuck off. And he got really mad, and I used those words. I told him too. I was like, I'm getting sick and tired of hearing you like try to pigeonhole this girl into a world where you're setting her up to fail all the time, right? And so he doesn't like that shit. You know what I mean? Like my outspoken nature. I let him have it, dude. Jenny and Bryce were like, oh, fuck. Dude, I was pissed, bro. I just don't, you know what I mean? I mean, because there's nothing wrong with like getting a college education. But from a parenting standpoint, when you have a kid that you got to look at the type of kid you have, and you have to develop like I don't know, you have to develop like realistic expectations that are based around who that kid actually is, and not trying to force them into fulfilling your idea. Okay? Because like a person who hates school and doesn't want to go to school and sucks at school is not going to get a PhD. And if you keep expecting them to get a PhD and they keep trying and failing, you are just setting them up for a lifetime of feeling like a failure, while you are like telling them how they're not doing good enough. And like, that's bullshit, dude. You need to support who the kids are and let them flourish. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, like they don't really like me because I fucking get into that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't take kindly to that shit, but all right. So I will be back, and we are going to take a look at the DC thing. Okay. Right. Word up. Let's go, baby. Yeah, dude, I don't fuck around, man. I mean, it's hard. It's hard because in Jenny's family, there's no conflict and nobody ever speaks up about shit. And I speak up about shit. And it creates a problem, right? I'm a feather ruffler. Does my son like New York? He hasn't moved yet. He's still here. He just went to pick up his girlfriend, right? Healthcare, dude, we all deserve healthcare, right? I think we deserve healthcare, and I think food and fucking healthcare and should be nonprofit industries. And I think everybody should own property, period. You should be given a property, like all people should own property. That should just be a given. You shouldn't have to buy it, okay? Everybody should have access to property so everybody can live without fucking, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody can live without needing to fucking give a third of their income or half of their income to another individual for their entire life, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, the system of real estate, of renting, right? Where the people who rent a house, their mortgage is lower than the payment that they're charging the renters. And the renters are basically giving half of their income every month to some fucking random person, dude. It's fucking bullshit. But all right, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go fucking juice up. And I don't know what that means. Freedom. Come on! All right, I'll be right back.
Always jumping through. I'm so tangled, I'm so worthy. I'm just lost in my reflection. Pay attention. You never will. I will
Let's go, baby. You like that music? Let's go. Dude, yeah, it's good shit. I was a good musician. All right, we're going to save that one. Save that for yet another time. Yeah, dude. I mean, obviously, we have some fucking chaos ahead of us here, guys. All right, now let's look at the DC stuff. All right. Dude, here I'm going to make a goal, dance party goal. Do 1 hour. See if we can get that dance party going. There we go. $2. Let's go. $2 fucking a super chats. Not the stickers, by the way. It's the super chats. Dude, yeah. So we do have to talk a little bit about the gay marriage thing. Now, I told you guys. I mean, dude, I've been saying this from the beginning. If you look at Project 2025, there were a couple of things that were very clear in Project 2025. One was they were going after transgender people and everything that upset the gender binary. Two, they were going after gay marriage and going to roll back those laws. Three, they're going after the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act. They wanted to roll back civil rights protections for everybody that was not white. And in fact, they wanted to weaponize the Civil Rights Act to be used to protect the white people. Okay. 4, about the homelessness, it's very clear that their line of thinking is get rid of all the immigrants and develop some type of national registry where you can be marked indigent. And if you are homeless, you then become a worker that would write to take the homeless people and put them into the jobs that the immigrants used to work through forced servitude. Okay. I really think it's a long-term goal of the Heritage Foundation to use real estate prices and the cost of living as a way to control who gets enslaved. Okay. All they have to do is jack up the cost of living. And then as soon as people end up homeless, you mark them indigent and off to the farms they go. They're forced to pick fruit or the meat packing plants or whatever jobs that the immigrant labor used to do. I'm telling you guys, this shit is very real in Project 2025. They spell this stuff out like to a T. And now, you know, part number 2, and then the other thing they're going to do is they're going to go after women. No birth control, no abortion, no right to like get out of a marriage, right? No such thing as a no-fault divorce, and trap the women, take away their rights. I would imagine they want to get rid of women's voting rights as well, okay? And they want to go back to the fucking 1600s. There is no doubt. I mean, it is disturbing and disgusting. And of course, what we have, let's go, woke grandma. Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go. All right, here we go. Hold on, I want to fucking refresh this. I want to refresh my little thing. There we go, so I can see the little, I like to see the little hand. Let's go, baby. 2 out of 10. All right, so anyway, so one of the things about this is if you look, right, I told you, I said this from the very beginning, that the minute they started this anti-trans campaign, the thing that they were really after was gay marriage, okay? It's quite obvious. Dude, this has been something I've said from the start, okay? That we just know this shit is coming. Yeah, no, I know. The public broadcasting shit is crazy. But here's the announcement today. U.S. Supreme Court asked to overturn 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗪, right? The landmark same-sex marriage ruling, okay? And voila, you know this is coming. We have to stop them. Dude, there's nothing you can do to stop them, right? I mean, this is going to go to the Supreme Court. They're going to overturn it, and all the red states are going to nix gay marriage, dude. This is already done, bro. It's like the time to stop them was for us to not let Trump win, okay? Now this shit is going to happen. It's fucking going. Look, what in the fuck is this, though? This is the person, okay, that is behind this, dude. What in the Aunt Lydia is this? Can I get a genital check over here, please? My God, bro. Jesus Christ. And that outfit, dude. Dude, sister wife. Yeah, basically, what in the Aunt Lydia is this fucking concoction, bro? Where's her eyebrows, dude? Good question, dude. Where's the eyebrows? Yes, dude, she is crazy. Okay, she refused to issue a marriage license to a gay couple, right? Which again, dude, you're not marrying them. She refused to issue a marriage license. Think about this shit, okay? Like, if you have a problem with the people who get marriage licenses, why is that your job? Like, why wouldn't you take a different job? If you can't marry everybody, you shouldn't be issuing marriage licenses. She is a definite five-head, dude. Dude, I'm telling you, bro. She's giving me a run for the money, bro. Look at that. I mean, you know, I'm better looking, but goddamn, we're close, bro. So, right? Dude. But yeah. Dude, look at this shit, though, dude. Oh, my God. Dude, if you put a wig on your thumb... Yeah, this is some frightening shit. But yeah, man. And the thing about it is, guys, is they're going to overturn. They're going to overturn it. They are. I guarantee you, guys. Okay? I guarantee you, unless some fucking miraculous shit goes on, they are going to overturn it. I mean, this was their goal. This is why these people were chosen, guys. It's why Amy's on there. It's why Gorsuch is on there. It's why Kavanaugh is on there. They were picked for Roe, for Oberfell. I think they're gonna go after. I think they're gonna go after interracial marriage too. Okay, but you just know it. I mean, these guys were picked for this, guys. The Trump justices back here were chosen specifically for this. Now, we know these guys are fucking scoundrels, right? But these three justices were chosen based on this decision, okay? And what's more, though, guys, you ready? I mean, here's the thing, is I've been seeing people talk about, like, democratic messaging, okay? About democratic messaging. It's a big thing we've been talking about in lieu of the Trump victory, right? Him eking one out over Kamala Harris. Hold on, let me fix this fucking in here. All right, but I want to show you why the democratic messaging talk is kind of nonsensical, okay? Because let me just show you today what I discovered on the internet, okay? I discovered this guy. Okay, look at this guy right here. Where is he? He is this guy. Okay, you ready? David Shapiro. Okay, now look at David Shapiro's tweet here. Okay, he says, As a gay man, I believe the Supreme Court should overturn same-sex marriage. Congress has used SCOTUS as a tool to make laws rather than interpret them. MAGA Republicans led by President Trump will enshrine gay marriage into law, ending the lie that MAGA is anti-gay. Now, my point in bringing this up is there's no way to message to this guy because this guy believes MAGA Mike Johnson evangelical and Donnie Trump and all the other crazy people are going to codify gay marriage by law. Right? Yeah, copium. Dude, this guy is like, got a copium fucking helmet on, bro. I mean, you can't message to this, right? There's no way to message to somebody here who is so far outside of reality. Like, this guy is just completely clueless. Right? Like, MAGA are literally off their fucking rockers, bro. And then you have this, right? Where is it? You have this guy. These guys. Look at this shit, bro. Dude, this is Scott Presler. This is the dude who's like in charge of their voter registration drive. What are we doing here, bro? What are we doing? Right? You ended up rewinded 40 minutes, thought you were live. Yeah, I mean, worthy. It's like I put a new live banner on there, so there's going to be some confusion with that. Dude, you were 15 behind. That's all right. But, dude, I mean, again, you can't message this. You know what I'm saying? There's no way to message this because these guys are fucking, dude, they're not voting with their best interests in mind. Okay? They're literally voting based on what? How, right? How do a gay dudes vote for Donald Trump? I mean, dude, I don't get it, right? I don't get it. The whole log cabin Republicans, congrats, guys. Now you're not going to be able to get married anymore. Good job, right? All your wealth is, you're not going to be able to leave it to your fucking partner. You know what I'm saying? Good job, right? The fuck are these guys doing, bro? Dude, I'm like, I just can't. Dude, I can't. Right? Right? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense, dude. It's like watching people literally, I'm going to vote to harm my own existence. And why? Because I want to trigger the libs. Like, who? Who does that? Why would they do that, bro? I mean, I get it. It's like there's an incel culture going on here, guys, where these guys, maybe they don't care about getting gay married because they know that no one's ever going to get married. But there is something prophetic because somebody down here left this comment saying, so I guess they'll happily be first in line for the pink triangles. But I was like, no, man, I think they're going to be the ones passing out the triangles. Right? Right? You know what I mean? Like they think maybe if they support Trump and get enshrined into the movement, they're going to be free from harm when the shit goes down. I guess. I don't know, man. I don't understand the mentality. You know what I mean? Right? You know, it's fucking crazy. And Besant is married. Yeah, I mean, they are fucking, you know, many of them are married. I mean, Jillian Michaels got gay married. She got rich in Hollywood. And then she decided to create fake supplements and be a red pillar, right? It happens. They get their rights. Oh, they're married. So I imagine if they overturn Oberfell it's not going to affect the already married people, or maybe it will. I don't know. I mean, a lot's going to be up in the open. It's not going to be national, but here's the deal, guys. I don't see how you can have 50 United States if your marriage isn't valid in all the 50 states, if your civil rights aren't valid. Like, this is where we have a problem, guys. We are not the United States of America if a transgender woman can use the woman's room in Delaware, but she can't use the woman's room in West Virginia. That's not the United States. If you can't use the fucking bathroom, if your marriage doesn't cross state lines, if your civil rights aren't equally guaranteed in all 50 states, we are no longer the USA, okay? And so we have to start thinking about active secession or something. We got to think about something. I mean, I'm not living in a world where I watch our civil rights disappear. And again, this is the party of free speech. Now it gets worse though, guys. Watch this, okay? Because it gets worse. Because now you got to see this clip, okay? We're talking the party of free speech, right, guys? Right? Watch this. Look at this, okay? Let me show you this video. You ready? This is UCLA, my alma mater, okay? He's a faculty member. She is the valedictorian at UCLA. This is this year. You ready? Watch.
Excuse my language, but to that I say fuck ICE and fuck the Trump administration.
Okay, so she says fuck ICE and fuck the Trump administration, and the guy behind her, the guy, he nods. Okay, now what's crazy about this, guys, is how the right-wingers, okay, the right-wingers, if you go in here and look at the engagements, if you go in here and look at the quote tweets, the right-wingers in here are freaking the fuck out. Like this guy. Here, let's go to Dinesh. Okay? Yeah, this fucking clown right here. Oh my God. So they are freaking out. Look at this. He says the most interesting image here is the bearded UCLA administrator nodding and applauding. The Trump admin should make sure that gesture alone is extremely costly for the university. So now this guy from the Free Speech Party wants Donald Trump to punish a university for the personal beliefs of one of its faculty, right? And then if you look here in the comments, look at these people, right? Like Riley Gaines saying, attacking her because she's a radical. Other people are saying they should deport the girl, the valedictorian who's a U.S. citizen. They're saying she should get deported because she disagrees with Donald Trump. All right. And fuck UCLA for using taxpayer funds on anti-American, right? Oh, the Marxist professor. So now if you say fuck DT, you're a Marxist, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? And they're going nuts though. People are calling for they're wanting to hold UCLA accountable, and they're wanting to deport her because she said fuck ICE and fuck Donald Trump, right? You know what I'm saying? The party of family values. Oh, that homophobe? You mean this freak show right here? Kim Davis, married 4 times, 3 different husbands, right? She had twins with husband 3 while still married to husband 1. So this woman, how? Dude, what are these guys? Who the fuck is banging this chick, dude? There's no fucking way, bro. She must have some kind of magic that we can't see in the photo, right? Dude, the sister wife is popular. Dude, I mean, I guess, maybe if she's fucking the type of dudes who would bang her, they don't have any other options, right? They all have to line up for Kim Davis. Shit, bro. Dude, she was human centipeding. Did they let their golden retriever? Dude, did they let their golden retriever watch? Oh my God, dude. Dude, That reminds me, dude, can we comic relief for a sec here? Can I just show you something? Hold on. We got a comic relief since you mentioned the golden retriever. Dude, borrow bed. Let's go, baby. 3 of 10. Dude, I have to look up because it was on my phone. So let me find the profile. I have to look up my fucking my watch history because we have to take a comic relief here for a minute because I have to share something hilarious with you along that golden retriever comment. All right, let me find the thing. Okay, I got to find the profile. Oh, it's Mac and Catherine. All right, you ready? So as long as somebody asked about the golden retriever, we do have to look up, dude, we have to look up something here. Oh, shit. Here we go. You ready?
Parents to offspring. Passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color.
Dude!
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Dude!
Genes are passed down from parents to
Oh,
offspring.
shit!
Often determining.
Oh, dude, that's good. There you go. A little comic relief. Dude, yes, my genes are blue. Oh, Lord, dude. Oh, shit. Dude. Dude, but look at all this shit, bro. They all have fucking, everybody's in here with their religious shit. I'm telling you right now, guys, we need to burn the fucking Bibles, bro. That's literally like our only option at this point is to start burning the Bibles. We do. We need to burn the Bibles. We need to burn the Bibles and we need to purge all Christians from government, right? We have to take a stand. This is getting too crazy, dude. This Christian Taliban shit is getting too crazy. They have dehumanized us to madness. And now, dude, the latest thing, okay, is this. Look at this right here. The White House is partnering with PragerU. The conservative bias education company is making AI content in a series launched with the Trump admin. So they defunded PBS. They got rid of public broadcasting. And what they're going to do is they're going to replace PBS with PragerU, which is disinformation, anti-LGBTQ. Women are just ribs, right? It is like toxic masculinity, anti-femininity, anti-feminism, anti-equities, equal rights. I mean, dude, this is insane. Poor Big Bird. So Sesame Street is not disappearing. Okay, Sesame Street, like public funding hit PBS, but Sesame Street will survive. Okay, Sesame Street will become an independent thing. Okay, and it will survive. I don't know what form it's going to take, but it certainly will. But PBS though did a lot of shit beyond Sesame Street. They had cooking shows, they had nature shows, they had a lot of what people have said where PBS offered people that were poor and had access to a TV set to get to know a lot of different cultures. Okay, there was a lot of PBS programming that was about exposing people to different cultures and different ways of living. And now there's going to be a public fucking, education system that's going to expose people to anti-trans ideologies, Christianity, and anti-woman. I mean, let's look at some of their shit, dude. This shit is so toxic, dude. I mean, they already have PragerU for kids. I mean, dude, it's fucking crazy shit, boss.
out with titles like.
Yeah, here's Robert Reich on PragerU. Okay, you ready? So watch this video. This video I think is good. Watch this.
PragerU is the most insidious outfit advancing the right's online agenda, and that's saying something. It's 5-minute videos, which have collected nearly 5 billion views.
Dude, see, I don't want to watch this. Every time I see a thing like this with music, I think I'm gonna get copy struck. So we're gonna watch it without the fucking sound, and I'm just gonna read it to you because I'm worried about getting copy struck every time I see a video like this with music. I get fucking pinged for this shit because YouTube is pretty crazy. But here we go. So PragerU is the most insidious outfit, right? PragerU is the most insidious outfit advancing the right's online agenda. And again, this shit is pure propaganda, okay? It's in 5-minute videos, which have collected nearly 5 billion views, couch typical Republican dog whistles and outright shit. Look at this. Law and order, racial justice and equality. So what they do is they talk about like racial justice. They talk about like, you know, woke topics, but they talk about them through a lens of like Christian demonization of everything, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, here, I'll make it so you can scroll through. So it says, you know, we'll go back to the beginning here. It says that PragerU is the most insidious outfit advancing the right's online agenda. And that's saying something. It's 5-minute videos, which have collected nearly 5 billion views. Okay, couch typical Republican dog whistles and outright misinformation with titles like The Myth of Voter Suppression. Right? They serve as a gateway to the more overt right-wing content pushed by the likes of Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, right? The Heritage Foundation, right? And then this thing too.
6,000 teachers.
This part too, right here, which is really crazy, is again, much like Charlie Kirk and Benny Johnson, they're starting to target the youngest kids. Okay, the right-wing nonprofit started building out its educational arm last fall, making content for 5-year-olds. So they're trying to preemptively like anti-woke fearmonger like kids at age 5, much like they do in Sunday school and shit when they convince kids you have to like listen to the Bible or you're going to burn for eternity, right? Okay. It pushes its videos into schools. Over 6,000 teachers and parents have signed up for this shit, right? And they amplify misinformation, right? When PragerU's videos are assigned by teachers for students to watch at home, more right-wing content comes up for the kids on social media and YouTube. Oh shit, I hadn't even thought of that, guys. How it's algorithming the kids, okay? If the kids are given PragerU links to study in school, they're watching that shit on their phones and their iPads, then the next time they open up YouTube, they're getting red-pilled. Right? Because we know how the YouTube algorithm feeds on that shit. And I mean, dude, I'm telling you guys, right now, what you should do is everybody should try this. Create a brand new account on Twitter, on YouTube, and create a brand new account from a new email, right? Do it on a computer you don't use every day and open a YouTube account, guys, a brand new one. And watch one fucking video of somebody like Andrew Tate or Steven Crowder or Matt Walsh. Watch one video and watch what happens to your fucking algorithm, guys. Watch what happens. It is insane. You will get red pilled. Dude, thank you, Dutch and Tifa. You will get red pilled so goddamn fast. It is unreal, dude. It is unfucking real how fast it takes. All right. And it's spreading around the world. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu even used one. No way, dude. Look at this. They made one for the PragerU that said Israel Defense Forces is the most moral army. There's no fucking way, dude. A PragerU video that says the IDF is the most moral army. This is the same IDF that Jeffrey Epstein was wearing their sweatshirt. Oh, fuck, bro. backed by fracking billionaires, Dan and Ferris Wilkes. Look at these guys. Dude, how gay are these dudes, bro? There's no way. This guy is like, my gaydar is like literally smoking. The back of my gaydar machine is fucking smoking, dude. Oh shit. Sorry, there we go. Thank you. I had live chat, but then I refreshed the window and it went back to fucking, it always defaults to that shit. Dude, look at this guy. There's no way, bro. And this guy's pumping out the anti-LGBTQ stuff, dude. Yeah. Bro. I mean, I'm not wrong, right? There's no way this guy is straight, dude. There's no fucking way, dude. Like, if this guy is straight, bro, I am a doorknob, okay? Like, what are we talking about? $25 million a year budget with ads targeting young people with right-wing propaganda. Schools, the internet, and now even far-right leaders abroad, right? This organization is advancing its right-wing ideology everywhere. All right. And in fact, now Donald Trump is taking PragerU and they're replacing PBS with this shit. The myth of voter suppression. Dude, isn't that crazy? Oh my God, dude. That shit is nuts. Like, we are literally living in the upside down, boss. Okay. See, Oklahoma Department of Education. This is the same Oklahoma with Ryan Walters, superintendent, who was watching had those nude videos come up, right? Nude pictures come up on his TV screen while he was holding a parents' meeting. This guy's PragerU, right? And now Trump is going to pump this shit. Okay? And something you may have seen also, guys, in addition to this, just so we can, a reminder of how it's going to be here now with Trump in office, you have to look at what happened with Dana White, because remember, right? They fired Stephen Colbert. They said they couldn't afford his contract. Okay. Remember? But look at this. Okay. Colbert's too expensive, but the UFC is now on Paramount Plus, and $1 billion per year. Paramount Plus is paying Donald Trump's friend, Dana White, the woman beater, $1.1 billion per year to host UFC on Paramount Plus. So Paramount fires Colbert. Trump approves the merger. Trump's friends get $1 billion a year, guys. And then what's going to happen? They're going to pump UFC culture and Donald Trump's UFC world and this red pill shit into all their Paramount Plus subscribers, right? It is one giant fucking hand jive, guys. One giant shuck and jive to give money to Trump cronies. We are literally, right? Paramount continuing the payola, overpaying this wife beater to weaponize his brand against women and civil rights. They are literally, like, some of these corporations are partnering up with Donald Trump, paying money to his buddies to try and permanently red pill and make us a fascist 1950s laden fucking country, dude. Dude, we are so cooked, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. They're overpaying so much. Knock, knock. Yeah. No, they're going to knock on my door eventually. They're going to get a fucking, swift uppercut. 9-iron. Ah! Dude, isn't that crazy? All right, guys. Dude, we got 26 minutes. We need 6 more if we're going to finish on a dance party. All right. Jesus H. Christ, guys. What are we doing, guys? We are fucking... Dude, the shit is going downhill fast, bro. All right. So now Now we got to go to Trump. Dude, first off, let's start with this. All right, you ready? Because I got to put this to clown music. The clown car arrives in the White House briefing room. You ready? Watch this. Dude, isn't that classic? The clown car arrives in the White House briefing room. Oh my God. Dude, these are like the most unqualified people I have ever seen in my life. The only person who's really qualified to be up on that stage is Burgum. But talk about a soul selling. Okay? Now, we got to look at some of Trump's comments here. Okay? Because this shit is crazy. Trump and Hegseth. The shit that was going on here. First, you have Hegseth. Now, remember what I said about this indigent label, right? About how they want to create. Yeah, no, I'm going to put some carnival music on there. How they want to do a indigent label. Okay, they want to take homeless people and force them into labor camps. This is what I told you. I've been saying for months. For a year since the election last year, that this is a major tenet of Project 2025. So here we go.
Yeah, and for the president, this is something that hits home because he is a visual person, and the visuals of, we saw him driving to his golf course and seeing those homeless encampments. We also see him connect to individual stories like what you just...
He's a visual person who sees the homeless encampments. And he doesn't like that he sees homeless encampments on his way to his golf course. So that's what she says, that she's is motivating the takeover of D.C. There's one take, okay?
Heard there, and he likes a quick win. And when I was talking to the White House today, they were really painting this as sort of a 30-day blitz. They want to get in. They want to federalize the police department. They want to really show some serious progress over the next 30 days. And that's really the limit that they have.
Okay, so 30 days, they think they're going to fix crime in 30 days? All right, but look at this. Can we just take you here? Here's Donald Trump in his own words. You ready? This is Donald Trump today, May 7th, and today again. You ready? Here we go.
Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. No, Eddie's very talented. Crime is down in Washington, D.C. Street crime, violent crime by 25%. And people have seen, they've noticed a big difference.
And the murder rates are plummeting. We are now able to report that the murder rate is on track to be the lowest in U.S. history, in modern recorded U.S. history, thanks to this team behind me and President Trump's priorities.
All right. So why you sending the National Guard in, bro? So crime's out of control, roving street gangs, radical, whatever, the usual language Trump is using, right? Oh, drug addicts, crazy homeless drug addicts. What is it? How does he describe it?
Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs.
Bloodthirsty criminals.
Roving mobs of wild youth. Drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it.
All right. Dude, what the hell, bro? But then, literally, 3 months ago, he was saying how, crime's down 25%. Now, crime is really down in D.C. Like, crime is down everywhere. Now, what's crazy about it, though, guys, is thank you. Let's go, Rest. See, what's crazy about this is the basis for his takeover, right? He says it's because of the rampant crime, got to send in the feds. Now, like I pointed out earlier, we do have to pay attention to the fact that it's another city with a black woman mayor that he is sending the National Guard in. Okay, now, the other thing we have to note, though, is crime is way down. And what's more, there are many cities with a higher crime rate than Washington, D.C., okay? As we saw on CNN, okay, Abby Phillip went off on the CNN panel. Let me find this. Dude, shit is crazy. Crime is way down. Okay, it is nationwide. Here, I think I commented on it. Dude, let's go. Maurice, let's go, baby. All right. Dude, 7. Is that 7 or is that 6? That's 6. All right, we're almost there. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do want to. We got to watch the clip first of him talking shit about those guys. Where is it? Fuck. I thought I responded, but I did not. Oh, here it is. Here it is. You ready? Watch this.
Yes. Hold on. It's bad. Hey, hold on a second. I lived in D.C. for a long time, okay? It's not a panacea of no crime. But I think the point made by Tara, and we have the data, the most dangerous places in the United States, D.C. is not in the top 10 list.
Have you ever seen
Not in the top 10, okay? If you look at the most dangerous places in the U.S., St. Louis is in there, Monroe, Louisiana. I don't know if you remember, but it's the town with that, like, paper mill that I talked about in northern Louisiana. It's not even a big town, but very high crime. Birmingham, Alabama. I mean, and they're like all red cities, red states, okay? It is not even close to the top 10, okay? And the ones that always get mentioned as dog whistles are DC, Chicago, but they're not in the top 10, man. This shit is crazy.
Because they have a higher murder.
Here, look at this. Memphis, Oakland, St. Louis. Dude, let's go, Marisol. Baltimore, Detroit, Alexandria, Louisiana, Cleveland, Ohio, New Orleans, Louisiana, Monroe, Louisiana, Pueblo, Colorado. Look at how 3 of the places are in Louisiana. That's MAGA Mike Johnson, the fucking, the House Speaker's state. 3 of the top 10 are in fucking Louisiana, bro. Right? And they want to talk about DC. They want to talk about red states. Dude, all of these, except for fucking, right? 3 of them are blue states. Colorado, Maryland, California. Okay? But what's crazy about it is some of these are fucking small. They're not even big cities. You know what I'm saying? This is insane.
Than Washington, D.C. does.
The number 1 place is Memphis, Tennessee. So I guess the point is there are a lot of places actually in this country that are very dangerous, maybe more dangerous than D.C.
In terms of homicide rates,
it
was 4th highest last year. But
we're talking about now.
Lots of places that are dangerous in this country. But Trump.
Dude, look at this fucking clown, bro. Look at him, dude. What a fucking clown. Can you imagine being Scott Jennings? Like, what a clown, dude. I mean, here's how you know that capitalism is just a joke. Because capitalism allows this kind of guy to prosper, right? Any financial system that lets this kind of guy prosper is a failed system, okay? This guy should not be prospering, dude. Okay, this guy should be fucking parking your car is what he should be doing, dude.
He was clearly using D.C. to make a point about, having the National Guard roving the National Mall where there are, last I checked, no crimes really being committed on the National Mall. And
none on the National Mall. Willem, thank you, boss. 2 more, guys. All right, and we dance 15 minutes, 2 more.
It's not where the crime is. I mean, if he sends the National Guard or, you know, FBI agents to Southeast and Southwest, that would be saying something. But
He shouldn't be doing that anyway. That's not
they're
their
trying to
role.
show something
Is
to
there
the
really,
public.
is there really going to be a resistance?
See, again, this whole thing is a dog and pony show, okay? This is a dog and pony show because there is not increased crime, okay, in D.C. Crime is down in D.C. And then look at this comment, too, from 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗶𝗀, okay? Because there's this idea that, oh, the National Guard is rolling in there because Trump wants to get rid of the homeless people because he saw him on the way to his golf club. But look at this guy. Look at what he says.
And the National Guard going to be picking up these tents. So the homeless tents are all over the city. They're on K Street Tunnel. There are some dotting along the area here. There were more before. Some of them have been cleared out. Well, what about those?
We're working with the marshals and alongside them, alongside Park Police, alongside everybody else. Wherever they need the National Guard to assist, we're happy to be there.
Do you know where the homeless people are going to go?
That's not really my lane. Yeah. Our job is to stand alongside law enforcement. We'll do that.
Yeah, that's not really my lane. So they're going to go in there and they're going to relocate the homeless people like Gaza. And what are they going to do? Dude, Jay, let's go, baby. Dude, DB Golding, let's go. All right. We fucking hit the goal, dude. Just like that, Amanda. Thank you. Let's go. All right. So we will be dancing. We're going to finish with the dance, dude. I'm gonna finish the fucking, while we're on a roll here, we're gonna get all the content. And then we're gonna finish with the fucking dance. Dude, it's not really my lane. Again, I'm telling you, Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation, they want to remove the immigrants and they want labor camps to put people into those jobs. And I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be based on homelessness. I think there's going to be a national indigent designation where if you end up indigent, if you get that homeless tag, you go off to the work camp. You get swept up and put in a work camp. And they feed you and they house you, but you're put to work, right? And then the reality is then they can control the size of the workforce by just raising the price of real estate. Think about that, guys. Think about the way the free labor goes. Yeah, but dude, it doesn't take long to fucking get homeless people fucking well enough to work, boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, homeless people are well enough to survive on the streets. They can absolutely put them to work. And they would provide them with medical care just like they do in prison to keep them working. It's not fucking hard. And many people on the streets are not nearly as bad as you think they are, especially if they've been there early. But think about what we have right now, guys, is right now our free labor is prison, but that requires people to commit crimes. If crime goes down, the free labor goes down, okay? So they don't have access to free labor in a controllable way. They try to over-police the streets and try to pick up as many people as they can. But the thing about this that's outrageous, guys, is you have to commit a crime in order for them to be able to put you into the free labor system. But here's the thing that they can do is with homelessness, if they want to create more free labor, all they have to do is raise the price of housing. Okay? That's it. Increase, we need free labor in Boise. All right, we're going to jack up the price of housing in Boise. 6 months later, there's a rash of homeless off to the camps. You know what I'm saying? You realize how controllable it would be? They would be able to go anywhere in the US and create more free workers simply by elevating the housing prices. I mean, this is what the Heritage Foundation wants. It is a utopia for them where then there's no immigrants, you know? Isn't that fucking outrageous, dude? Dude, that shit is crazy, bro. Dude, these guys are fucking toxic. All right, let's see what.
Deployed the National Guard, the ATF, the DEA, deployed the National Guard, the ATF, the DEA, the FBI, so that criminals know now that we see them, we are watching them, and we're going to make them accountable. But make no mistake, Sean, this is just the beginning. Today was, as the president called it, Liberation Day. But we are now in the process of bringing to the attention of law-abiding citizens, not just in D.C., but throughout the country, that we're not going to tolerate crime that is out of control in the nation's capital. This is the
crime is down in the nation's capital. We heard Trump say it himself.
shining city on the hill that our forefathers talked about. This is the place where Ronald Reagan talked about looking up to. And in the end, it is an incredibly violent area. And, you know, whether crime is up or down, you know, they want to pat themselves on the back and say, gee, it's great. It's not as bad as it used to be. It is horrific. And the reason that press...
Whether crime is up or down, doesn't matter. Give me a box of Franzia on the White House lawn.
From today, and the president commented on it, was so packed is because those reporters in that room, and it was packed to the gills, experienced crime themselves. And some of the questions had to do with that very thing. We've got...
Dude, she is such a fucking clown, bro. Right? Oh, here we go on Hannity.
What about other cities, violent cities, Chicago and New York City and
See, it's
LA
funny.
and
Dude,
other cities?
They mentioned Chicago, New York, and LA, but none of those cities are in the top 10. The top unsafe cities, we saw the list, were Memphis, St. Louis, right? Oakland, Cleveland, fucking 3 cities in Louisiana, right? You know what I mean? They're all in the red, but they only mention the cities in the blue states.
Have defund, dismantle, no bail laws.
Well, look, our murder rate is like 5 times at least higher than New York City. We've got one of the highest murder rates in the country.
Nope.
We were the 4th largest a couple years ago.
A couple years ago. Right? A couple years ago. Well, you know, 25 years ago, there were a lot of carjackings. And there's not any anymore, but 25 years ago.
And what we've got here are people that are not even making complaints about the quality of life crimes.
About the
Whether
quality
it's
of-
shoplifting.
They're shoplifting. Her voice, what we've got here. They're shoplifting.
Or damaging property.
Or damaging property.
Or an attempt at a carjacking.
Oh, attempted at a carjacking. Oh, they removed my neck. Somebody stole my neck. Dude, neck theft is really fucking out of control, dude.
They don't even call the police. We're not even seeing most of the crime that's occurring. And the clearance rate on
it's crime that we don't even see. It's this super secret, invisible, unknown crime that you can't even see, but Jeanine Pirro is sure that it's out there, and it is rampant, right?
Besides, Sean, is a joke. These cases are not being solved. And so the message is, if you want to commit a crime, do it in D.C., because they're not going to solve the case.
Well, I mean, she is touching on a larger issue, guys, of why people want to defund the police to begin with, because cops don't solve crimes. And that's the God's honest truth. Cops don't prevent crimes. They don't solve crimes. They solve less than 50%. They are the most inefficient for the vast amount of resources that get dumped into policing, the overtime, the constant raises, the benefits packages, the brand new gear. They don't actually do shit. They don't solve crimes. They don't prevent crimes. They don't take care of victims effectively. They do nothing but cost civil rights lawsuits, right? And occasionally grab people and stuff them into the prison system. That's it, okay? The other things they do is they stand around with fingers in their ass during protests, or they threaten to beat up people for no reason, okay? They harass people. They racially profile people, and fucking they rape women with impunity. You know what I mean? Dude, I have the best freeze frame in the game, boss, without a doubt. But yeah, man, it is like policing is a disaster in America.
Bring in someone younger to commit the crime, and we'll end up letting you go because the U.S. attorney can't get her hands on you. That's all going to change under President Trump. We're going to make D.C. safe, and we're going to make it beautiful again. And make no mistake, this president has a constitutional right to protect the people in this district and to make us safe. And until he came along, it was just going along and, oh, yeah, maybe it got a little better this year, but it's never good enough. It's never peaceful enough. And
oh, maybe it got a little better, but it's never good enough. It's never peaceful enough.
That's the problem.
And that's the problem. It's never peaceful enough. By the way, though, I do have to show you something because some of her work was spotted. There we go. There's a live shot of 𝗙ص𝗶𝗶 having a profound effect on Washington, D.C. already, leaving traces of her fine work. Right? Here we go. Thank you, 𝗙ص𝗶𝗶. We love what you've done with Washington, D.C. Oh, I can't find my neck, but at least I have some box wine. Dude, somebody stole my neck. And in its place was a fucking half-empty box of 𝗙𝗏 with a bunch of lipstick around the nozzle. Dude. bunch of lipstick around the nozzle. Okay, here she is, though, pining for not being able to harass and arrest children.
They can be in DuPont Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak. I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and you have a gun. I convict someone of shooting another person with an illegal gun on a public bus in the chest. Intent to kill? I convict him. And you know what the judge gives him? Probation. Says you should go to college. We need to go after the D.C. Council and their absurd laws. We need to get rid of this concept of, no cash bail. We need to recognize that the people who matter.
She's like, she wants to go back to lynching. She's like, we need to go back to lynching. Oh, box wine and lynching. Where'd my neck go? Oh. Dude, look at these fucking bloodthirsty fucking bitches.
Law-abiding citizens. And it starts today. But they can be in...
Starts today, baby. Oh, shit. Starts today. Look out. Dude, I tell you what. If I see somebody dressed like... Dude, she looks like she's already got the orange jumpsuit on. If I see a crazy woman with a box of 𝗙𝗏 in an orange jumpsuit come running down the street, I'm running, dude, okay? I am running. Bro, they're just fucking crazy is what they are, guys. They are literally fucking like, they're insane, boss. They are. Hold on, let's go back to 𝗏𝗏 and let's see the Trump clip, okay? Because, of course, he was spitting the dog whistles for sure, all right? They are batshit. All right, here we go. Here we go.
It is. We have other cities that are very bad. New York has a problem. And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland. We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over this. And this will go further. We're starting very strongly with D.C., and we're going to clean it up real quick, very quickly, as they say.
Dude, first off, there's no way. First off, we know crime is down. But even if crime wasn't down, if crime was rampant, there's no way you fix that in 30 days. Please. What are they going to do in 30 days, right? That's like, remember when Texas said they were going to get rid of rape? They haven't gotten rid of rape. All they're doing is trying to redistrict and arrest Democrats. Rape is alive and well in Texas. They've done nothing. Right? Like 3 days? They're 30 days? They're 30 days? Okay. Oh, all right. 30 days. The city's just fixed, right? I mean, all of this is so unrealistic fucking bullshit, bro. 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. Dude, it's outrageous. It is fucking outrageous. Okay? Now, I don't know if you guys saw this, but yeah, I would like to see that. But here's something we should note too, is you remember how Donald Trump fired? Remember how Donald Trump fired the woman who handled the job numbers? Well, so he has placed E.J. Antoni, the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This guy is a fucking Heritage Foundation, guys. Look at this, guys. Okay, this guy, he's an economist. Look at him, dude. Jesus Christ. What in the fucking Nazi, Himmler, Goebbels, what are we doing, bro? Look at this guy. I mean, look at this shit. Dude, he is a Heritage Foundation economist. So now all of the people that are giving us our data, the people that are going to be giving us the data about jobs numbers and the economy is a Heritage Foundation fucking, isn't that nuts? Bro, yeah, no, dude, I don't know what he's doing. He used the undead filter, the vampire filter. Bro, oh yeah, he didn't know the Heritage Foundation. He didn't know Project 2025. So it's going to get ugly, guys. We're about to be in a world where they are going to come forward every month giving us data saying like how great America's doing. Meanwhile, you're going to be barely surviving, right? Dude, this is crazy. It's another 5-head, bro. What the fuck? What are we doing, boss? Yeah, now they're going to start fucking collections on student loans. Dude, this is the guy right here.
Oh, certainly. In fact, I think it's really even starting to show up in the macro level data. This whole of government approach that the current Trump administration is taking to deregulation is seriously paying dividends. In fact, that may end up having an even bigger positive impact than the tax bill. And that's saying something.
Deregulation's paying dividends, except for the workers that die on the jobs and the fucking people that die of fucking chromium poisoning in their water and, right, air pollution, dying in coal mines. Deregulation is always paying dividends to the capitalists. Dude, it is Screech, dude. It's like the Heritage Foundation of Screech. Dude, it's like if I took some bad acid and watched fucking Saved by the Bell, that would be Screech. Like, holy shit. What in the acid trip are we dealing with? Yeah, goodbye OSHA. Goodbye. Hello, deaths in Jeff Bezos factories that won't get categorized as deaths, though. They'll get categorized as voluntary deportations to the afterlife. Right? That's what it's going to be. How many people died in the warehouse? Nobody died in Bezos' warehouse this month, but there were 74 voluntary deportations to the afterlife. Dude, we are so fucked, bro. Tony, let's go. Dude, we are so screwed, boss. Dude, we are so screwed. Dude. We're going to have fucking brain worms, heroin, and fucking measles for all my friends. But look at this shit. Dude, Penguin, let's go, baby. First super, appreciate you, boss. Look at this shit, though. Under President Donald Trump, American family incomes grew tenfold compared to Joe Biden. Okay? What is this talking about? Nobody's income has increased tenfold. American family incomes grew tenfold. Like, dude, and they're standing here with this chart.
And so I called the president because I had some very good news from some new data that we've been able to put together.
Some new data. that I called the president with this chart of new data that we were able to put together. Listen to this.
And so I called the president because I had some very good news from some new data that we've been able to put
new
together
data
that no one has ever seen before. And I'll just very quickly go through these. So I was telling the president that he did the right thing in calling for a new head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because this shows that over the last 2 years of the Biden administration, the BLS overestimated job creation by 1.5 million jobs. That's a, Mr. President, that's a gigantic.
Dude, that happens in every, right? That happens in every, like every year they overestimate. But new data, guys, we have some new data, right? Goddamn, dude, look at this ogre. Jesus Christ, dude. Somebody please bring up a pine box. Hurry. Hurry, dude. Dude, yeah, is this the hurricane? Dude, here's like, this is the normal male penis, and this is the Donald Trump penis. Okay, so there you go. That's the new data. We realize normal male, typical MAGA, Donald Trump. All right, and this is why, you know, if you look at the inverse, the biggest, like, meanness comes from the guy with the inverse tiny mushroom, dude. Right? There it is. Jesus Christ, dude. There's like a fucking sea lion in a suit in the Oval Office. Somebody give me a fucking bucket of chum, please. Fucking heart disease had one job. Dude, you had one job, heart disease. That's it. You had one fucking job. Okay, so let me see here. So here's what he says, is he tweeted, okay, tweeted earlier, Washington, D.C. will be liberated today. Crime, savagery, filth, and scum will disappear. I will make our capital great again. The days of ruthlessly killing or hurting innocent people are over. I quickly fixed the border. 0 undocumented in last 3 months, right? 0 illegals in the last 3 months. D.C. is next. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Right? That's what he says. That was his big announcement. Yeah, I do remember the violence in D.C., but we had gotten rid of that until somebody came by and pardoned all of them. Right? But, so we are, you know, again, though, look at this, right? Black women. He's gone after cities with black women mayors, guys. Not an accident. Okay? This is where he is dabbling with his fascism. He is going to cities where there are black women mayors, and he is trying to exert his fucking power and fascist domination in the cities that have black women mayors, right? It's pretty fucking despicable. All right, it is. Dude, Trump is a fucking clown show. Crime is down. Okay? Homicide is down. Crime is down. Robbery is down. Everything is down. Trump himself said it was down. We've seen the clip where he says it himself. Do we have any more? Where was the, there was a Baltimore fucking, was there a Baltimore? I believe there's a Baltimore link here. Baltimore mayor. All right, here we go.
But a military presence in Washington, D.C., is that the right way to fight crime here, given your experience in Baltimore?
No. And I think we all know that, right? And we all know what the president is doing is really just spitting this right-wing propaganda and using the media and the bully pulpit of the highest office of the land to push things that we know. No one in D.C., my sister mayor is not saying that they don't have issues to work on, but the reality is that D.C.'s violent crime is at a 30-year low. And quite frankly, that's the case for cities around the country. I think it's very notable that each and every one of the cities called out by the president has a black mayor. And most of those cities are seeing historic lows in violent crime. In my city, in Baltimore, we have
black mayors, guys. This is, I mean, every attack is on people of color, guys. Since he's been in office, this is just what he does.
The fewest amount of homicides through this date on record. That's 50 years, a 50-year low. Maybe we are too far gone from the broken right-wing policies of zero-tolerance policing and all the things that did not make our city safer for all those many years. But we know that having the military there is not the way to do it. The way to drive down violence in cities has been proving. Mayors across the country have brought together law enforcement, the legal community, the actual community, the community violence intervention work to reduce violence across this country and cities to lows that we have not seen in decades. The president could learn a lot from us instead of throwing things at us.
Yeah, the president, though, is a dumb fucker, right? He's a racist, rapist, dumb fucker. So here we are, guys. All right? This is where we're stuck. But yeah, man, this fucking, no investment in, right? What we really need is we need investments in reducing poverty and, increasing education. Okay. But we're not going to do that. Okay. Instead, they're going to try to, scoop up the homeless and over police and try to charge people with whatever crimes they can get and put them in prison. Right. It's fucking bullshit. All right. We're going to finish on Laura Loomer because I feel like this is a little bit entertaining here. And then we're going to go do our dance fucking party. But so Laura Loomer is, dude, she's on one. Okay. Remember the other day when we had those right-wing influencers that were kind of going off on each other about the finger banging in the hotel lobby and all that shit in front of kids. And they were just so nasty. Well, Laura Loomer is fucking on it. Okay. Look at this. Look at this shit. Okay. Laura Loomer and Marjorie Taylor Greene are at one another's throats. Okay. Dude, look at this fucking craziness. You ready? Oh my God. So we have, right? Starts with this one. Okay. It says it was the Jews who made MTG cheat on her husband in the back room of a CrossFit gym. The Zionists forcefully opened up her legs and made her destroy her family. They made her ruin a marriage, but then she bought a cross as was forgiven for ruining her marriage and being a slut. So Laura Loomer fires the slut arrow into MTG. Now, again, I mean, dude, MTG definitely, yeah, she's committed adultery like so many of these Republicans. But it's so funny for her to be attacking MTG about being a slut when she idolizes Donald Trump. Dude, hoopty, let's go, baby. Appreciate the 5, right? I mean, doesn't that seem to be like, how does she fire the slut arrow and then, but she's like holding on to Donald Trump? Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with women having as much sex as they want. Now, I even understand that in marriages, like sometimes affairs happen. Like shit breaks down. It's not a perfect world. What I don't like is when the people who are cheating on their wives and people who are committing affairs are the ones walking around telling you how you need to live in order to be moral. Okay, that's where I have a problem. I have a problem with people that are adulterers then telling me that my life is immoral, or telling a gay couple that their life is immoral, right? When in fact, these people are fucking degenerates. And then, but look at this, dude. Then Laura doubles down, okay? Because Loomer is well known for like sleeping around, okay? Loomer is well known. She's well known for getting drunk in the political circles and like trying to lure men, telling them I got big tits, come home with me. Like Laura Loomer is not chaste by any means. I mean, she probably is now. She's become such a degenerate that she never leaves her house and nobody would touch her with a 10-foot pole. But she used to be pretty actively trying to get laid in the right-wing circles. But she doubled down. She says, I wish MTG got on her knees for her Lord and Savior as much as she got on her knees for men who aren't her husband. Just another fake Christian. Can you call yourself a Christian when your mouth is full of other men's cock. Dude, the right-wing women are so brutal. Oh my God, dude. Can you call yourself a Christian when your mouth is full of other men's cock? And she says, I may be Jewish, but at least I'm not a Jezebel, okay? And then she triples down, okay? And she says, I am America first, and nothing that comes out of the mouth of a fake Christian Jezebel like MTG is going to change that. You don't get to demonize millions of American Jews who voted for Trump just because you hate Jewish people, MTG. I am a U.S. citizen. I don't have dual citizenship. I have voted for Trump every time he's been on the ballot. I have never served in a foreign military. I am not Israeli. So how am I Israel first? When is the GOP going to start calling out these deranged statements made by Rep. MTG who thinks every single Jew is an Israeli spy? I am an American, right? I believe Israel has a right to exist. I don't support the eradication of every single Jew and the Islamic terrorists. I will always support the well-being of the United States. MTG should be censured for her remarks. You cannot use your official congressional account to accuse private citizens of being foreign spies. It's an abuse of power, and the GOP needs to condemn it. Now, this is crazy, though, because, like, Laura Loomer accuses everybody of everything. She accuses reps of being spies. She, like, puts forward conspiracy theories. You know what I mean? Like, she is a chief accusationist, for lack of a better term, of everything, you know, Democrat or government or trying to get people fired. You know what I'm saying? And now she is like going to town, okay, on MTG, right? Because QAnon Congresswoman, right, she's posting about her affairs, okay? And right? And she is like literally going all in on MTG. Now we're going to look at MTG's responses here in a minute, okay? But she is like going off, dude, and saying she has chosen to welcome in menopause with neo-Nazis and Trump hatred, which is wild to hear Laura Loomer accusing somebody of, like, you know, taking up with neo-Nazis. Isn't that nuts? Oh, my Lord. Okay, so now she is going off on MTG. Right? Then here's another one, dude. She went all day. Okay, she went all day on her. She went Loomer crazy. Okay? You ready? So, she says Marjorie Trader Greene is a homewrecker. Her narcissistic personality disorder has made her believe that she is President Trump's successor. She truly believes that her word has more weight than Donald Trump's, and her narcissism has rotted her brain like a cancer. It's now making her rip our country apart. Dude, this is MAGA, by the way. MAGA. MAGA v. MAGA, guys. They're going at it. This is a grudge match, cage match. This is a woman who has allowed her sexual impulses to tear her family apart. She wants to now tear our country apart to try and steal Trump's movement away from him. Don't let this homewrecker become a country wrecker. Trump would benefit from putting her in her place, reminding this rabid dog who is boss and the real leader of MAGA. It's Trump, not MTG. It's called the Trump administration, not the hump administration. Dude, oh, the hump administration. Go find a chair to hump like the dog in Heat you've always been, MTG. She's just tagging her all day long, dude. Oh my God, bro. You will never take over Trump's movement. You will not succeed in dividing his base, you narcissistic witch. We won't let the homewrecker become a country wrecker. We will destroy you before we ever allow you to try and ruin the MAGA movement the same way you ruined your family. Now, what's crazy about this, guys, is I am trying to figure out what exactly MTG did that, like, set Laura Loomer off, okay? Because Laura Loomer just fucking went crazy, okay? I mean, oh my God, dude. Jesus, dude. What in the actual fuck, bro? But, right? You know what I'm saying? It is fucking, like, this shit is crazy. Okay? Here's another one. All right, where she says, in another example of a vetting crisis, MTG's former campaign manager, Isaiah Wortman, whose company she still pays, is working as a special assistant to the president for presidential personnel, even though he's the guy who used MTG's campaign credit card to purchase the 𝗙24 domain the same day of the infamous Mar-a-Lago dinner with 𝗙, which MTG orchestrated with her campaign and a manager and intern to set Trump up by the admission of her own foreign campaign staffer. So now Loomer is saying, right? Loomer is saying that MTG set Trump up with Kanye and Nick Fuentes. Okay, this was exposed by me years ago and confirmed by the media. Okay, so now it's like there's now a crazy, right? Like fucking, because Milo was her thing. Like he's trying to say that MTG is like trying to set up Trump, which is pretty wild, dude. So MAGA is fucking eating themselves. Okay? MAGA is totally fucking eating themselves up. Dude, isn't that crazy? And then MTG fired back and said Laura Loomer viciously attacks and lies about those of us who are President Trump's most loyal, original MAGA supporters. She has no long-time relationship because she psychotically turns on everyone. Laura Loomer is the most unstable person and the worst liability to ever walk in the Oval Office. Now, Laura Loomer did get sort of excommunicated during the campaign, and Trump does love her because I think she polishes a wild knob, if you know what I mean. But he's steered clear from her because she's a scandal. Like Loomer is just a scandalous. But dude, isn't that crazy? So MTG is fucking going at it. Okay? She's going at it with Laura Loomer. But now Laura Loomer, though, okay, where did she call it a genocide? Did she tweet about it? Did she tweet about it? Or did she say it in person? Okay, here it is. She says, stand with MTG. AIPAC is sending fundraising emails attacking me for saying the most truthful and easiest thing to say, that October 7th in Israel was horrific and all hostages must be returned. But so is the genocide, humanitarian crisis, and starvation happening in Gaza. AIPAC is lying about me and saying I betrayed my American values, which can't be further from the truth. I'm unapologetically America first and refuse to shovel your hard-earned tax dollars to foreign countries and foreign wars. Okay, so MTG has come out anti-AIPAC and fucking called it a genocide. So Loomer is flipping the fuck out. Dude, isn't this wild? But again, guys, this is what I am talking about. That I believe, guys, it is the stress around the Epstein files that is bringing this to a head. And that's why we need to keep pushing the Epstein stuff. We need to keep, like, encouraging MTG to fucking talk about the genocide. Let MAGA start eating themselves, guys. They are going to start eating themselves, man. But the Epstein shit is helping to fuel this because it created the rift. And now that there's a rift, everybody's nerves are raw. And when people's nerves are raw and the chaos of Trump and the infighting with all these egotistical, like different religious denominations, these different religious sects fighting for superiority, and they're divided on Israel, and they're divided on the Middle East, and they're divided on like the moves that Trump is making. And there's a serious fucking faction happening. Okay. Now, if we go back to Loomer, dude, she has continued. Okay. Ready? Where else does she go here? Okay. Now here.
Like I was in Trump.
Okay. Here is now MTG on fucking Loomer and Levin.
What do you think Donald Trump, President Trump, thinks when he must see this, right? He must see, this kind of like online feud going on between a Fox host, Mark Levin, and a seated member of Congress who he respects greatly, obviously respects you very, very much so, MAGA since day one. What do you think goes through his mind? What do you know? Has he contacted you?
We haven't talked about it. And actually, I don't know that President Trump does see this. I think he's very busy all day. So I don't think he's spending his time scrolling everybody's social media feed. So he may not even know how vile it really is. And I would even go further. Laura Loomer is another one that has relentless attacked me. Many other America First Republicans like Matt Gaetz and many other members of Congress. As a matter of fact, the only people she attacks are Republicans. And Laura Loomer touts herself as, basically testing everyone for loyalty. But the truth about Laura Loomer is she scrapes up information and then she twists it and manipulates her stories to basically be the same manuscript of information like MSNBC does. And so she's like...
she compared Laura Loomer to MSNBC. Oh my God, dude. Them are fighting words right there. Dude, no wonder Laura Loomer is having a meltdown, right? She compared her to MSNBC. Oh my God, dude. That is like brutal. Look at her though. God damn, dude. She needs some fiber in her fucking diet, bro. Jesus Christ. She is frightening looking.
Attack dog. But she's been attacking me because I'm calling for AIPAC to be registered as a foreign agent and foreign lobbyist. And, she's come out of the woodwork on that as well. So you find out who these people are. You find out which country they're loyal to the minute you start saying something about it, and they truly expose themselves. And it's shocking. These are not the kind of people that should have the president's ear. They're dangerous, especially when they're calling for nuclear bombs to be dropped and America's military and sanctions and all type of government action. But yet these are people that could never win an election themselves. Laura Loomer, she lost 2 congressional races.
Oh, dude, she hit her below the belt right there. That was a labia shot. Cannot win office herself. Oh, she basically said you can't even get into Congress. Therefore, oh man, dude. That is like, now we see why the fucking trigger has happened.
Mark Levin wouldn't dare run because he would likely lose. And so it's really interesting to see these people just use basically their platforms as a bully puppet and just go straight to name calling. And
she said bully puppet, not pulpit, the bully puppet. Mova.
Lying about the people that they seem to be the enemy at the moment.
Oh Lord. And then what does she say, dude? Laura, now we see why Laura Loomer went off, okay? Because she went all day, okay? Then she said, my enemies prove I have influence. I wake up every day to another hit piece. It's because I'm effective and it threatens a lot of people. I will win. I always do. My enemies hate me because I am real. Something they will never be. They can't buy what I have. Then she goes off and attacks Tucker Carlson, okay? Disregard for the truth. And he's undermining the Trump administration by interviewing the sister of a man who falsely accused Trump of being a rapist. So she's attacking Tucker, right? And then she goes and says, oh, look, this is MTG's campaign manager who she is reposting after he used a fake pic of me. What does it say about MTG that she works with a guy who ripped off East Palestine victims? Her America First shtick is a fraud. It is America First to lie to victims in East Palestine. Okay? And so she's attacking her campaign manager, right? And then she goes off on her again and says, the lying fake Christian whore, MTG, is lying about me again. Oh, Lord. She is so jealous that she is fading into her irrelevancy after she couldn't secure an endorsement for her Senate campaign. She claims I have lied about her and smeared her. I posted receipts for everything I said. She refuses to address those receipts. She has provided no evidence of her claims about me that she made from her congressional account, an abuse of power, and certainly an ethics violation. She also claims she is one of Trump's most loyal supporters. Here she is bashing Trump recently. Does this look like loyalty to you? Accusing Trump of not keeping his campaign promises and saying he got us into World War III. She is one dumb bitch, probably the dumbest bitch in Congress, and definitely not loyal. Just ask her ex-husband, Perry. Okay? And this is a video that's not loading for some reason there. But holy shit, bro. Dude, isn't that crazy? Loomer unfucking leashed. Dude, yeah, isn't that wild though? To hear them like, right? To hear them fucking talking about her abusing her power with her congressional account. And now we have MAGA calling for other MAGA to be removed from Congress. She is calling for her to be removed from Congress for calling it a genocide and for disagreeing with Trump. Like, wow, dude, isn't that nuts? Oh, man. Dude, isn't that crazy? Dude, this is some of the craziest shit, dude. The worst people we know fighting each other. I mean, I gotta admit, guys, I'm here for it, okay? I am here for it. I'm like, I got the popcorn ready to go, baby. Oh, Lord. All right, you ready for the dance party? It is now time for a dance party, and then I'm going to go make some videos. All right, we are going to dance to our usual song here. The one and only our favorite Swedish beast, right? A little deja vu from our buddy Stefan, right? Stefan Carlin. Let's go. We're going to get edit mode ready. Dude, I got to get my 5 head ready. Get that 5 and 6 head ready, people. Let's go. Let's go. Ready for a dance party? Let's go, baby. All right, here we go.
caution that I will make it out somehow.
Oh shit, baby! Let's fucking go! And now, I'm gonna go make some videos, guys. I love you. I'm gonna leave you with Red. I'll see you tomorrow night, guys. Keep it real.
Who's your lover now? Red, red, who's it all about? Psychosis friend down and begin again. His eyes are broken in, and I don't feel the same. Red, who's your lover now? Red, red, who's it all about? Me, I do. Think you threw your pains away. Yeah, I do. I think you threw your pains away.